Welcome to the OAPN podcast with your host, Adarsh Sakare. No bullshit, no cuts. 100% raw conversations with 0% fucks to give. We don't encourage the consumption of alcohol, but if you want to open up a cold one while you watch this, it's not a bad idea.
Welcome to episode 101 or 101 of the OAPN podcast. It feels nice. It feels exciting. At the same time, it feels surreal that we shot 100 episodes. It was like this. For the longest time, it was the milestone that we didn't know if we'll actually hit or not. But it happened, and what a way it did happen, right? We finished 100th episode. We had Mohandas sir on the 100th episode, then followed by the red carpet. The type of support we saw on the red carpet event was really beyond my imagination, because it was always an idea, but on the day when we saw all the people there and when we saw how beautiful it looked, then we, for the first time, it really felt like, yeah, we're doing something right, and we were on the way to create bigger things, bigger impact for sure. And it's not been easy, of course. For those who've followed us closely, you all have seen what it has taken to do this. I think the first year of the podcast was a lot of learning. The second year, things did pick up. But again, I think we took almost like a 4-5 month break, which really hurt us quite a bit at that point. And then the last year is when really, things started to kick off and we found our rhythm and we realized why we're doing this and where we want to take it. And of course, learning continues to happen even now. So happy to be here. This is a new phase for us. Happy to kick this off. For the last month, we haven't released any content from the podcast. We continue to bring to you stories that want to create impact. We continue to bring to you stories that are not here for a short term, but more for a long term, impact that they want to create. That being said, let's jump right into the episode. Before I introduce our guests a little, let's say hi to Harsha. Hi, Harsha.
Hey, Adarsh, hi.
Welcome, man. Thanks for coming in.
My pleasure. It's exciting to be here.
Yeah. With Harsha, we have Gurunandan. He'll be on camera in a bit. So both of them are directors of Handson Nonprofit. And it's going to be an exciting one. To give you a little background about why we're doing this episode, of course, Deepika Appaya was here on 99th episode. She introduced me to Harsha saying, hey, Harsha is doing... the first thing she tells me was, Harsha is restoring lakes in Bangalore. I said, what does that even mean? How does someone restore a lake, right? And the reality is, when you think of something like that, for a common man, it feels like, yeah, that's the government's job, right? Like, doesn't the government care about that? And aren't they the ones who take care of these things? How are individuals coming together and taking care of restoration of a lake? It almost seems impossible to me in my mind. Honestly, even now, I don't know how they do it. And that's why I've invited them here. I think it's really a cool cause. From what I've known, it's not the easiest to get eyes on projects like this. It's not the easiest to get crowd support on project like this. But I think there's a different wave you all are riding right now, which has caught attention. Something has worked. People have started to not just like their content, but started to believe that they are onto something here. Right? They're onto creating some real impact, which is exciting. If you follow Harsha's page or Guru's page, you'll already know what they do. If you've never heard of them, or if you have no clue what this is about, this episode has also come at a time where every Bangalorean is talking about water, right? All of us are talking about water, and here are two gentlemen in the studio that are doing something about it. And I don't think you find that many people really almost putting their life at restoring nature, restoring water in Bangalore. So it's pretty exciting. Join us on this. I'm excited to dive into this episode. I hope you are too. So Harsha, thanks, man. How do you feel?
Oh, with that introduction, I'm so pumped.
The truth, bro.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What does it feel?
Life's good, but the weather gods are not on our side, not on
our side.
Bangalore side. I think it's so hot. We've never seen Bangalore this hot before. 38, 39. Someone's saying 41. It's crazy. Yeah.
At least last
Yeah.
20-30 years, we have not seen.
Or
We've
even
never
beyond.
seen.
We've never
Even
seen.
beyond.
Oh, I've been in Bangalore during the time where, like in summers, when going to school, we used to wear sweater and go in the morning. Now, even in winter, we don't wear sweaters. It's that bad. So,
Sure. Harsha, I want to jump right in, right? Why do you want to restore lakes in Bangalore?
well, it's been my life's dream to
Okay.
work with nature, to work with environment, because these are the only things I know to do. If you ask me to put in numbers as a finance person, or be a software engineer, or be a doctor, be anything else, I don't know any of those. This is the only thing I know.
Okay.
It's the only thing I know to do. So,
So you're in it.
yeah.
I was doing my research. ನಿಮ್ಮ ಫೋಟೋಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೋಡಿದೆ. 932 posts. I went down and I realized way back, I think even 7 ವರ್ಷ ಮುಂಚೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಟೆಂಟ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ರಾಕ್ ಕ್ಲೈಂಬಿಂಗ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ. You're in the water, or you're on the mountain, or you're meditating. So one point clear ಆಯಿತು, you're a nature person. You love nature. Where did that come from? Is that something you discovered about yourself, or maybe your parents influenced you, or your friends influenced you? We'll start at.
Well, I think it partially runs in the blood. My mom was a C certificate NCC. She did her C certification in NCC, and my dad has also always been in the outdoors. He used to go traveling with his friends, and I think it comes in the blood. But just to give a small, background about how my connection with nature started is. I was a very timid kid growing up. So most of the time I used to spend after coming back from school was with my grandma in the garden. So in my entire area, we were known as though that garden house there, they have a lot of plants, and most of my evenings I used to
Colonially.
No, it's a residential area. Sheshadripuram was a residential area. Now it's a commercial area. Thank the malls. But back in the day when I was a kid, that entire area was fully residential, old houses, and they had like a big garden space in front of their houses and stuff. And our house was known to have like a very nice garden because of my grandma. So most of the time I spent was with my grandma in the evening, potting plants and pruning, removing weeds, a lot of things. And my granny always used to say like, okay, whatever you plant turns out to be like a good looking plant, because every time you plant something, it'll turn out to be successful.
Hardly dies.
And
Lovely.
that just stuck with me throughout. So whenever I used to like consciously, unconsciously plant something, it used to grow. But I didn't know that there are people outside who try to plant, but they all end up killing it. So over time I figured out that okay, I like to whatever I plant is successful. That was one skill that I knew that I have. And my inclination with nature started there, because I used to observe the butterflies that used to come to the garden, the sunbirds, they used to come and build their nest on the big parijata tree in front of our house, and the bees, the animals that used to come to the garden. I used to observe all of these as a kid, and I had that inclination towards it. So after school, college, and whenever I used to get a chance to take off with my friends and go outdoors, I used to do that. I didn't know the potential it had. And after college, I joined a corporate. I worked in a corporate for about a couple of years. And after degree, I finished. I did my BCom.
ಯಾವ ವರ್ಷ ಇದು?
2015. I finished.
You finished. Oh,
Yeah, I studied
same
in
batch.
Sheshadripuram College.
I passed out in 2015, Joseph's.
Oh, sweet.
2015. Please continue.
Yeah, I passed out from Sheshadripuram College, and I really, it opened up my life. From school, I was studying in a CBSE school, which was very protective and very bookish. I had to focus on academics a lot, to actually stepping out of that cage and coming to Sheshadripuram College, which opened up my wings and my vision, and it changed me as a person. It was like freedom.
So in what way?
Because CBSE, it's inclined more towards studies and no extracurricular activities. Okay, it's very academic intensive, which I am very bad. I was a below average student. Every year I had to write a re-exam. Somehow 10th standard I scraped through. I don't know what happened, but I scraped through. But when I came to college and completely gave me freedom, and that was one of the points where like I started like traveling a lot, bunking class. I used to go to some hill, hike up some hill, and you know, I started like craving more of that. And as like you know, typical Indian parents, they're like, oh, you have to start focusing on your career, join a good job. And of course, naturally, I'm the first kid, so
How many siblings?
I have a younger brother.
Okay.
So as the elder brother, I had to set examples.
set standards.
Yeah. And my parents never had kids before. I was the first one. I was the first project. So they're like, you have to do this. You have to do all these things. So I had to take up a job. Couple of years I excelled in my job as well, but at some point I hit some kind of saturation. After that saturation, I was like, okay, this is done. I want to do something, pursue something, because I had saved up enough money from my corporate job that I can survive for the next 3-4 years without worrying too much. So I was like, okay, let me take the plunge. I joined as one of the researchers. I joined as an intern.
Where?
At this organization called Wild Otters in Goa.
Okay.
So it was an island called Sharab. It's an island called Sharab. You have to go to Panjim and take a ferry to this island. I think most of us would have studied about Salim Ali Bird Sanctuary.
Okay. I don't remember.
Yeah, it's one of the most famous bird sanctuaries, and this bird sanctuary is on that island. Just for reference, it's an island called Sharab, like an old Portuguese houses, and a small population, and the field base was there. The first time I went there, and someone was actually working on something I'm passionate about.
Okay.
Like being in the outdoors. I joined as an intern and then started working with them, and we used to go on trails, collect data. So we were studying otter behavior. I was studying 2 species of otters there. What
is the objective of this foundation?
So this is a fisherman community. So there were a lot of retaliations with the otters there, because the fishermen used to put their nets, and the otters used to cut up the nets and eat the fish that the fishermen had trapped. So the fishermen used to be very rattled about the otters coming and killing the fish. So they used to kill these otters, and otters actually an endangered species.
Yeah.
It's a protected species, Wildlife Protection Act 1972. So this was a small mammal we were studying. So that piqued my interest, and I was able to put all my skills that I'm very good at, and I was able to connect with the work that was happening.
This was an internship.
I started as an intern and then continued working for the next couple of years.
Wow.
Yeah, I kept visiting the place and collecting data. I was studying one family of otters and setting up camera traps, talking to the fishermen around what's happening, studying the tides, putting all that information together. We were building kayaks for the fishermen, and we were doing a lot of things, and I loved it. But at the end of the day, I didn't continue with it because conservation in India doesn't pay. So yeah, that was the catch. If it was paying well, I would probably still be working there.
So you ran out of your savings at some point.
Yeah. It was done. It was done. I couldn't travel the world. I couldn't do much with that kind of money. But somewhere I had this feeling that my skill sets are there, but I'm not able to use it for conservation, for ecological purpose, which I'm good at. But I couldn't do that anymore. I stopped that, and then I started a landscaping company, and I started setting up garden spaces because connection back to granny.
So you know how to maintain a garden, how to make it look good.
Yeah, even that was by accident actually. One of my neighbors were like, the garden place, the house that has organic gardening, and they know me in that area that this is the garden guy, plants guy, he'll help us with whatever. So I was just taking a break, that 1 year break, and this guy comes to me and is like, hey, can you help me out with my garden?
So this is after this
wildlife research scene. Yeah. So he was like, come help me out with my garden. I was like, I had nothing else to do. I started helping him.
He paid you for it.
Exactly. After 2 days, he paid me for it. I was like, oh, why not start a landscaping company? And that's when I founded Green Garage.
Okay.
I ran it for about 4 to 5 years. But
which year did you? 2018?
2017, 2018.
2017, 2018.
Yeah. Around 2017, end of 2017, around December. And I started setting up garden spaces. I've set up gardens in big pubs, restaurants, office spaces. I even set up Sudha Murthy's garden space. Okay. So Sudha ma'am was super happy about
So what do? You figure out which plants
Yeah.
to put where, how to make it look, how to keep it nourished. You don't maintain it, but
We also maintain. We used to have a team that used to maintain that thing, and it went on for quite a bit. And then again, something was itching. Like I was like, this is not adding. This is not my full potential. And one of the during COVID, to end of COVID, we just struck up an idea saying that, okay, let me do something beyond this, beyond my scale, beyond my comfort zone, and we started this campaign of Project Urban Jungle.
I saw that.
Yeah,
That was your first
yeah.
post where you said, let's make it larger than.
Yeah, so that was my first project where I was like involved other people and wanted to plant trees, because all these while I was just potted plants, like someone's garden, some small space. This time I wanted to build a forest. Overnight it just came and I was like, okay, let's do something about it. Made a couple of creatives and put it out. I wanted to plant about 100 trees first. We'll see how much we'll be able to. Yeah.
Crazy
Yeah.
how all these people turned up.
Yeah, the objective was to raise funds for 100, and overnight, like I put the payment link, and overnight I had enough funds for planting 500 saplings. I was like, wow, okay, now I didn't need to close this because that's the capacity I can plant now. And we went ahead, planted 500 saplings with.
Okay, can I stop you if you don't mind before we continue? So, I've heard about projects like this a lot, right? We planted 500 saplings. We planted 1,000 saplings. So I understand that people are interested, and I understand they want to volunteer and they want to pay money. How do you search for the location?
Yeah, so that's the most important thing. One is location. Second thing is sustenance. So location, it has to be ideal in such a way that there's no developmental activity that will happen there ever. It will just be dedicated for like a community area or a forest area or a natural ecosystem. It has to be that. You just can't go randomly plant at random sites and be like, I planted a tree. So one is permissions for the land. Second thing is sustenance. When I say sustenance, a sapling needs 3 years of care for it to self-sustain. It needs water, it needs support, it needs nutrition, it needs pruning, it needs protection, it needs staking, it needs de-weeding. All these things are there. So without like all these resources like water or like manpower for maintaining, you can't do these things. You can't plant trees randomly. So I had some basic knowledge about that land being available and some resource being available to take care of the sapling. So that happened. We went ahead, planted, and then it was forgotten. I went back to my normal life and things like that.
But so who takes care of those?
There are labor taking care. There's a drip line.
Okay.
So through the borewell,
which is like it's like a pipe.
Yeah, drip line.
It's like irrigation
system. Line. Yes,
okay.
Drip line, irrigation line, same thing.
Okay.
So they turn on the borewell during the dry seasons. Every day for 1 hour, 2 hours, they water.
How many times do people help you plant a sapling, and do they check with you? What is the
Yeah.
people who?
So we try and avoid taking donations from like individuals. We usually do like large plantations with one corporate because we'll be able to report the progress easily.
Everybody will keep.
Like we plant thousands of plants. For every plant, if we keep giving away, we'll go mad. So yeah. But the interesting story comes here. Basically, how we have reached so far. That 500 plants, my first project, done, dusted, and how to take this to the next level, I didn't know. So I went back to my normal like line of business with doing landscape.
Which is
Landscaping. Funnily, one of my close friend, she wanted to start something on the lines of environment and do something about bring like-minded people together and start something massive. So she said that okay, me and this guy are starting something. We are calling like 10 friends each, and we'll come discuss. So through this friend, I was one of the people she invited, and through the other friend, Guru was invited there. I don't know who this Gurunandan guy is. I don't know who he is, what he does.
That day 2020.
Around 2022. 2021 or 2022, around that time.
So it took you quite some time after your urban project to meet Guru.
Yes. So he was there and I was there. We were just having normal discussions about what each person does, and I was telling about my project, and he just looked at me and I was like, "Oh, cool, pretty cool." And then it was his introduction, and he was telling that I work on water bodies, I work on lakes. Lakes? What lakes? Okay, I'm interested. I need to know what this is. Unfortunately, the idea that they wanted to start didn't really take off. But Guru and okay, I think we need to cut this. My friend will kill me. But Guru and I got acquainted because in the past I've tried partnerships with so many people.
Doesn't work.
It never worked out. I think because like we were friends and we were trying to make a business work. But when I met Guru, he was not my friend, right? We were just like people who are like-minded, come with similar values, come from similar backgrounds, and we are working in the similar space. We got acquainted there, and then we started working on small projects. Like we started planting trees again and saw how we work with each other. And our energies matched, our mission and vision in life that also matched. And then we saw potential that, why do small projects? Like, we are capable of much bigger. And slowly from small, doing small projects like of 100 trees, 500 trees, then we were planting thousands of trees together. And one project came up where we started working on a lake. And I think that turned things around for us, and we were like, okay, I think it's time. Like we stop everything else that we are doing and let's focus on doing these projects because it requires all of our time. And that's when I decided to stop my landscaping business. And landscaping business is good money.
That's what I was about to ask.
It's very good money, but somehow that even though I was getting money, that satisfaction was not there.
So before we get into the, what happened after you and Guru met, you mentioned that those values were very important.
Yeah.
And now you mentioned, though it was good money, I dropped it. So at the end, what is that values? Why does Harsha want to restore a lake? I still haven't got that answer, right? Like if someone asks me, like, why do you want to speak to people? And I'll say, I know what it feels like to not be heard to. So I want to ensure everyone's story gets heard. So for you, what is it?
Okay, let me give you a small example. Okay, we've restored one lake. Okay, like it was not holding water at all during the summers. When I see that site, when I saw that lake first, when there was not much, was small puddles in the summer, I was like, oh my god, how is it going to be after we restore this lake? And once it was restored and now it's holding water, that happiness even money can't buy. I mean, what we are getting right now is less money, but the job satisfaction that I have on a daily basis is like, I can't put a price on it. So, see, my philosophy is, okay, money will come, money will go, somewhere we'll make money, like, somewhere it'll all come together. But we're living for a very short time in our life. Like, the life that we have is very short. So my philosophy, what my dad has taught is this much: whatever you take, give back in twofold. So my thing is, like, how much of resources I've taken from this planet, I want to give it back in twofolds. And if I have that capacity, I will do it. So this is one way of my repayment to what I'm taking.
How was your dad seen all of this? Is he in line with this? Did he understand it?
I mean, it's very complicated. Now he's very happy. Like, if I have to tell you where I've come so far and how all of this is, all the credits go to my mom and my dad.
Okay.
Because I come from a very tough upbringing. Back in the day, we were financially not strong at all.
Dad was working somewhere? He had his business?
Yeah. He was working. He was working in the radio advertising industry.
Okay.
My granddad, who used to be a movie director and producer.
So they've been in media.
They've been in media. But
very interesting, bro.
Yeah, when my dad was at his peak of his radio ads business, it fell because of the media, the other media, the television and all the other medias that came forward. So the market for radio ads came down and he was out of business. And then there were a lot of other complications, financial complications.
So growing up, there was not a lot of money at home.
Yeah. So some birthdays, like you can put this or you can cut this, no matter. But some of the birthdays, my parents couldn't afford new clothes for me. So it was that bad. Or my dad even tears up now sometimes, saying that when you were going to school, like I couldn't afford to give you pocket money for you to go buy something in the tuck shop to have your snacks or something. So from that upbringing, so he's been very protective about my career. Like, even after college, he's like, join a good company, your future will be secure, that kind of background. And for them to be okay with me quitting my corporate job, joining wildlife conservation, which is still dilly-dally about my career, like, is it going to pay me, is it going to take care of my expenses, is it going to pay my bills, being unsure, to me taking a 1 year long break to figure out my life. I think like most parents wouldn't agree, like, wouldn't be okay with it, but they gave that freedom, they gave that space for me to like look out and follow my passion. So that way, I think my parents, my mom and dad
They deserve the credit.
Yeah, they were the catalyst to this entire change in my life.
So there was a time when there was not a lot of money at home. When did things start getting better?
Towards the end of my college days, like his business, he got into construction, and he got
Something started working,
and I started seeing like decent salaries from my corporate, and then my business did really well. I was able to pick up a small piece of farmland. That's my passion, and I was able to start doing something with my life. So that way it got a little better.
So survival was sorted at some point.
Yeah.
You all went from survival not being sorted to it being sorted.
Yes. So that way, like, they were the catalyst to me being like where I am right now. Most of the credits go to my family for sure.
So your dad was never really involved in business, but he was.
Yeah, he's backed me a lot of times when sometimes.
So how did he feel about you? Say, you said you got into a landscaping company or you started one. How was his thing, right? Because for families who have never seen entrepreneurs or businessmen, it's always like the first thing is, how will you do?
Yeah.
Nobody did it.
Yeah.
It's almost like they say it for safety, but it's one of the most underestimating thing you'll ever hear from our family, right?
Yeah.
Where they'll say, they won't say it directly, but they'll say like, we haven't done it. How are you saying you're going to do it?
As you say it, I'm getting nostalgia. I'm getting goosebumps. Okay. Because I had to prove every step of my life. I had to prove that I can do this. I can do it. For example, from winning fests, inter-college fests, to competitions, to whatever it could be. Like, it could be a sports day competition to like, okay, am I managing my finances well? Am I able to obtain this asset at this point of my life? All of this had to prove him. Like, towards the end, when I was taking bigger life decisions, somewhere he's like, okay, can he do it? But he's done it so far. So I think I should give him that space because he will do it. So that way, yeah. So that way, each step I've been able to prove it to him. And that's also somewhat my motivation that, okay, I have to prove it to my dad that I'm capable of this. Yeah. So that way,
your mom must be happy.
Oh, my mom's like.
Have they ever come to any of your projects, planted trees, seen a lake before and after?
No, but I want to get them. Illa.
Not even once on site?
No, but they've seen it. Yeah, but we recently opened an office space a few months ago.
Y'all are the real deal, man. Office.
No, we had to. Like, we hardly go to office because most of our work is on field.
Have an office later.
Yeah. But
I hope it's the same reason as us. Anyway.
But the real happiness that they saw was like during our office inauguration, where they're like, okay, now this is some tangible proof for them that, okay, our son is doing
office
something.
Office success.
Success ashte.
See the definitions. Boss, this is very real. The way parents define success is very different.
Yeah.
Is really very different than how We different. Anyway, please.
And also they started seeing our work on the media and a lot of newspaper cuttings, and somebody's talking about, oh, I know these guys. Oh, then my dad's like, oh, he's my son. So there were like points like this where our story came to light, and he was proud of what we are doing. So NGO space is very like, Harsha's they're like, okay, this is just charity, like, you can't lead a life with this, and that those kind of talks have always been there through generations. But we are working it like a corporate, like we take salaries, we put food on the table, and we are able to pay our bills. So that way he understood that concept, and then he's very supportive of what we're doing. He's like, whenever he meets his friends or like wherever family gatherings, he just can't stop talking about us. Over the work that we do. He's always sharing our posts and all of that. So I think he's happy with what we are doing. So.
Yeah. There's this thing that I've accepted of my life now. So, I mean, even here we all come from middle class families with big dreams that we feel someday we, not only with wealth, but even with impact, everything will grow to a much bigger extent. Journey is pretty similar. Early 20s, how I used to think is, by the time I turn 30, 35, ella madbidtini. Everything will be done, and I'll sit in my villa, and I'll be done. I've realized now that it's going to take my entire life. It takes a full generation for the family's track to change. And you would have also felt this now, right? Like, you've put in so much work, but it's really just the beginning. Probably it's going to take your whole life to really experience everything that you want to do. And when you realize that, then you somehow accept that now there's no turning back. Like if I tell you, Harsha, stop working on the environment, do something else, will you like even be able to think of that thought? And as much as it's gonna like beat you down, you don't have an option. Right now, where I'm going with this is this is what happens when you follow your heart. When you follow your heart, you don't have, I mean, there is only one path. So my question to you with this thought is, has there been times when Harsha said, fuck this shit, like I can't do it. I can't do this anymore.
Guru, close your ears. Oh my God. Many times. Many times. The challenges that we face, not just with finances, like, like as an NGO, like sometimes have been hard, like when we are like out of work, there's no finances, there are no funding, or sometimes when you're like, fuck this shit, is like you face challenges project wise. Sometimes you'll have to tackle with some people. The civil conversation that I'm having with you right now is toned down 100x to talk with a certain person. I can't talk like how I'm talking with you to a certain stakeholder, or if someone who's like a big stakeholder, I can't talk like this. So each time switching in between these people, and some troublemakers who are there, and to deal with that, some people who are trolling you, or some people who are trying to pull you down, some people who are politically strong, and they're trying to like mess with you. It takes a lot of toll on your mental health. Sometimes I'm talking to Guru, and I'm like, why are we doing this? How are we bearing with all this? Why should we be taking all this shit from all these people? We are at the end of the day trying to do good. We are putting our health on the line. We are putting our careers on the line. We are doing everything, life on the line. And why take this shit from like, all these people, like, who are trying to pull you down? That time we'll be like, okay, why are we doing this? Like, though we want to do this, we are seeing change, it gives us satisfaction, but why are we doing this? But somehow this is our identity. this is what we are good at. Like I can hardly find like maybe 5-10 people in Bangalore who are doing the things that we are doing, or even lesser, like, you know, who are doing it at this scale. If not us, who will do it? Like, you know, to live with that guilt of, okay, I don't want to do it because of all these challenges. At the same time, there's some lake being like, you know, is going into destruction, and I can't live with that guilt no matter what. You're like, okay, tomorrow is a new day, Guru, let's keep pushing forward. I don't know, it's just instinctively it comes to us that okay, no matter what, we'll just continue to fight. Even as I'm talking to you, I'm like thinking about those 4 field level problems that, you know, are happening in the background. Yeah, with some people who talk and, you know, like, you know, who you know that
so hard.
yeah,
So hard for you.
they ask us bribes. We are an NGO, man, come on, like where will I give you the money from? There's no money for the project, where will I give you money from, you know? Like,
We also feel that sometimes guests will come here and they'll charge me. Be like, fuck off. Boss, why the fuck? Bro, can you believe there have been... And there'll be nobody's, bro. People with real stories have fucking come here and shared their story. I don't want to categorize who these people are, but you know who some people are and what category they belong to. They'll charge and I'll be like, I don't need your story. Don't come. Right? Fucking anyway. Sorry. So frustration even I want.
yeah, it's a good channel to leave all the frustration out.
Go for it.
So yeah, some people who pose as a threat, some people who are like, they're blackmailing us to stop our work. Yeah, people who create problem by like...
Has anybody ever physically threatened you?
We try and stay away, like we predict these things, like, you know, it's never come to that. I mean, it's never come to that so far. And somehow we feel somewhere it's around the corner, but we try and stay away. Because our cause, our intentions of work is like 100%. Like we are...
That's where the values actually come.
Yeah.
When you go to anyone and talk, the intention actually makes it very, very important. ಹೋದಾಗ ನಮ್ಮ intention ಏನಿದೆ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ, then they will be like, from the day one they will like kind of be below. And we as individuals, we should never change on our intentions towards the project that we are doing. ನಮ್ಮ intention ಸರಿ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದ್ರೆ
it will shake. If you know,
absolutely,
you need to alter it. You're screwed.
It's shown. Like if my intentions were bad, on the day of meeting people, it's shown, because our intentions are so clear and so full of heart that we are doing this work. People try and not mess with us, but there are still those like, you know, rotten apples who try to make the best of someone's situation.
Yeah, that's okay. We'll talk about, you know, I also wanted to tell you, right, sometimes I don't know what you expected coming in here, but we never really have a start or end. I just want to ask you whatever I want to ask you, so don't mind.
Absolutely.
If I go to few topics that
no. Please feel free to ask us anything. Yeah.
You know, you spoke so much about values and these things. So one thing that caught my eye when I was looking at your Instagram again was there's some inclination towards meditation and yoga, right? I mean, at some point.
Yeah, so not meditation and any of those things, yoga or any of that. I used to practice Kalari poet.
Which Devrat
is doing right now. Yeah. Before Dev started, I had like done it for about 4 years, and because a lot of injuries and stuff, it like I had to like stop practicing. But it also somehow changed my life. I was a very angry human being.
Why did it change your life?
I was a very angry human being, and it kind of centered me, like to calm down and put out all my frustration there, like with doing all these kicks and like exerting so much energy into the sport, the art.
So you said it centered you, right?
Yeah.
If you see people who are following their heart, they'll always have something that centers them, because they need something to remind them who they are, what their purpose is, and you can never live a day away from that. And I want to bring that out. Coming back to, so you said nobody's physically harmed you, but have you been abused, like verbally?
Oh, many times.
Bad language? Yeah, so how does that feel? What do you feel about that, right? When someone talks bad to you, without giving you the respect you deserve. How do you feel and how do you see it?
See, initially it used to bother a lot. Like it could be like abuse or someone commenting something on social media or all of those things. It used to bother us a lot, but somehow we have become numb because our intentions are clear. We are sure about we are not doing anything wrong. We are doing everything correct. We are doing everything technically. We are putting in all our heart, all our effort into it. After some time, I started telling myself, see, this is one guy who's abusing. Tomorrow there'll be 100. Tomorrow there'll be 1,000. But if I let that affect me, then it's going to hamper my way of working, on daily basis. So it did affect me in the start, but now I'm just numb to all these things. So verbal abuse, trollers, they don't change anything.
Learn to
accept it. Yeah.
What has been your what do you think is the best part of partnering with Guru, and why do you think that has worked so well for you?
I mean, I think the whole equation of it many factors. Okay, one is of course values, upbringing, family backgrounds, all very similar. Like how we treat people, the respect that we show others, all of that. And also, we started off as like working together. He was not my friend before. We met at a forum, we connected, and just happened to have all these values and vision of life, what we want to do with our life, what we want to do with our skill, what kind of people we are, what kind of families we come from. All of that just came together, and it just became what this is. And it's fantastic to work with Guru, and I hope he agrees the same. But we also work. We work like crazy. At the same time, if there's some adventure, diving into the water or climbing up some sketchy rock, we do it together. Okay. So it's fun, and at the same time it is we are working properly. We go into we work with the Karnataka Forest Department on some projects, and we go into the forest wow, we both have the same expression. We see a bird, oh wow, we see something, oh wow. So that energy matches, and we're excited about the same things, and I think that matters. When there's a new project proposal that comes up, when we see that project, both of us know that, we would love to take it up. It's an unsaid thing. It's like if I've seen some project, I already know, okay, Guru would also want to work on something like that. And if we see something dodgy, like curveball, I'll know that, okay, let's stay out. And he'll also be on the same page. So that wavelength, really matches. So that way.
Since we met our company secretary, and both of us didn't talk, but we kind of decided to take him since that.
What about it?
You were expecting me not to ask him to kind of just give us leads, but to take him as a mentor.
Yeah. So one of our friends' father, a very resourceful person, okay? Very resourceful, and we asked our friend to introduce us to his dad.
One of the biggest company secretaries of India.
Yeah, and we wanted leads, basically, but when we met him, we intuitively knew we don't want to ask him leads, because he possessed so much knowledge and so much where he came from. We were like, we should ask him to be our mentor and not ask for leads. If we had asked for leads, we would have become very small people in front of him. He would have given us leads, but he'd be like, anybody, he's just asking us for connects. But we asked him to mentor us. And that,
And that day we kind of did not talk before going to him that, he will be a
This
mentor.
is how.
It was
we are sitting together.
Call in the room, and uncle and both of us were sitting. Harsha was inside his heart telling people ask for leads, and I was inside my heart asking Harsha
So both of you wanted the same thing, even without.
Don't go ask for a lead and become like a middle class. Uncle, you've got to be our mentor. So you've got to be our mentor. So both of us kind of
knew it that we are not going to ask
to be our mentor without both of us discussing.
Small instance like this, but we've done this, it keeps happening on a daily basis.
What is the age difference?
How much, da?
5?
5 years, yeah.
He's 5 years older to you.
Yeah.
So that's never this thing.
Yeah.
I mean, you can overpower his decision if required.
Yeah, we both are equal.
No, not on paper. Like on paper, I'm not asking. But
Yeah. Age doesn't play a factor.
like if you need to tell him to.
Yeah, we keep doing that. Yeah. We are very open on that. Both of us know when we don't, we avoid loose talking. So we, before deciding or saying something, we think it through and say it out. So each of us, when we are putting out a thought, we know it's come from a place of some research and background. So that way, both of us have reached a spot where we are like, this decision, I think both of us have thought this through, or either of us have thought it through. In his absence, I take the calls. In my absence, he takes some calls. So we are comfortable with it. Yeah.
Discussion is very important. That's why
Discussion, yeah.
you got to talk. You got to talk about it, put things on paper, things on a board, and always think from the organization perspective,
Not
think
from
a
Individual. Yeah.
We'll talk more about the organization with Guru. There are a few other questions I wanted to ask you.
Yeah.
What is, if there's a bigger dream, what would it be?
My retirement?
No, not retirement. But
In a grand
something that is almost feels out of reach for you, but you have a strong feeling it's possible.
Yeah.
Sounds unrealistic for others, but
Yeah.
you have a feeling it's possible by you.
There's something called as socio-anxiety that's come up, right?
Okay.
Eco-anxiety or socio-anxiety. Eco-anxiety.
Yenidu.
Eco-anxiety is where, there's destruction happening and, you can't do anything about it and you're just like frustrated. Or someone's cutting a tree and you see some video and you're like, oh my God, I'm so helpless. I can't do anything about it. It's happening everywhere. Like, it could be plastic found in the ocean. You'll see a turtle, like plastic in its mouth, or, someone's cutting a tree and hundreds of birds die because the tree falls, and you're like so helpless about it, and just thinking about these things you're so frustrated. And
It's eco-anxiety.
Eco-anxiety. And for me, one of the triggers are forest lands being cut for estates or plantations and whatnot, farming and all of that. So my dream in life is, by the time I'm going to retire, I want to buy hundreds and thousands of acres of land, and I mean like estates, buy them and convert them into forests and live in them. I think that's my
Biggest.
that will be my end, like towards the end of my life, like whatever, when I'm retiring, that's where I'm going to start. Like I'm going to buy hundreds and thousands of acres of estates. I don't know how, it might not be in my reach, but I'll figure out a way, buy out all these estates and start converting them into forests. That's like my wild dream, and I hope I go in that direction someday.
Lovely. I asked you how many times you said, fuck it, I can't do this. But also tell me one thing that stands out, that you always go back to take motivation from a project or something that you did, or something both of you did, that is pretty damn awesome. And you're like, macha, adu madidvi. So something is there. so I want to know. Give me one. Like
so many. I got to meet Salu Marada Timmaka.
Okay.
She's a legend. Padma Shri awardee.
I'm not aware. Very sorry.
No worries. No worries. We've studied about Salu Marada Timmaka in our textbooks, in our school textbooks.
Is this the same lady you made a reel about? Old lady?
Yes. She's 111, and throughout her life, she's just planted trees and taken care of them. Around Bangalore, there's a stretch of 800 trees, 400 trees, ficus trees, and she's watered them. Physically, she used to take buckets and go and water these. So she's a Padma Shri awardee.
Okay.
She received the Padma Shri award.
She's the one who actually blessed the president of India. You remember that?
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh.
That lady.
Who gets to meet like a legend like this?
You took taken blessings. You can see photos of her blessing.
So how did this happen?
In one of our lake inauguration, the funding organization had invited
her
to inaugurate the lake, and we happened to be the people who were in charge of the execution of the restoration of the lake, and we were around, and we were sharing stage, and we just got to sit next to her and take her blessing. So that was.
Anything she told you? I mean,
she said many things. She said, just plant trees. That was basic, and that hit hard coming from a person like that. In simple words, she said, plant trees. ಒಳ್ಳೇದಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ದೇವ್ರು ಒಳ್ಳೇದು ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. That was enough knowledge and motivation for us. Like, who gets a chance to sit next to a legend like that and hear these words in person?
Trees in our lake.
Yeah.
oh yeah.
Yeah. So things like this. The other day we met Padma Shri Tulsi Gowda for another lake inauguration.
I saw that.
That was also like incredible moment for us. One of the lakes, the Mysore Maharaja inaugurated our lake. Shri Yaduvir. He inaugurated. So who gets commonly you don't find people meeting these kind of people and interacting with them. For me, it's not like meeting a celebrity superstar, and that doesn't bring us great happiness, but meeting people like this, it's you can't put a value to that.
So it's also something you didn't expect.
Yeah.
So I like this. I don't know where I read it or who told me, but it has stuck on with me. So for every success to happen, you have 50% stake in it. The universe has 50% stake in it. And it goes like what took you maybe a year to complete your 50%, the universe does it overnight.
Yeah.
So every time the universe takes a step, you're amused.
Yeah.
Because for the universe, it's easy.
Yeah. Yeah.
But it waits for you to do your bit.
Yeah.
It says, ಮಚ್ಚ ನೀನ್ 50% ಮಾಡು, ನಾನು ಬರ್ತೀನಿ, ಬೇರೆ ಕಡೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಇದೆ, ನೀನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರು, you're going to take much longer. You finish, I'll come, snap of my finger, I'll finish it. You don't have to worry about it. That's why the successes always seem amusing.
Yeah.
Because it seemed so hard that you almost start to question yourself, how is this possible? But for the universe, it is. And it looks at you. If the heart is there, if the intention is there, it's too easy.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it not do it? It's the same power that has given you the vision. No.
Yeah.
You are not born dreaming of lake restoration, boss.
No way. Not in my wildest dreams.
There is a channel.
Yeah.
There is some power guiding you, saying, Macha, you work on this.
Yeah.
Through you, we will restore lakes. And then all these other things happen, and you're like, oh shit, how did this happen?
Yeah.
Right? And I think those are the feelings that keep you going as well.
Because
you
100% with you.
Why would you not? If these things have happened already, what else is there? Right? When you start thinking, what else can happen?
Yeah.
It's always interesting to talk about things where we, like we said, we are all middle class people, but we have such large dreams. Have there people on the way who now believe in you more, and who support you, like from friends, from other, like who are immediate support for you, support for the organization? Has that built up? Are more people supporting?
Absolutely. As much as I've cut out a lot of toxic people who are not adding any value to my life, I've also come across a lot of amazing, interesting people who are so genuine with their intentions of what they want to do, and we take every opportunity to meet these people and get them to work with us. We want to work with you, you work with us, and because this world works on collaboration. You can't do everything single-handed. You need people who have a special skill set, who have a certain value to take up something. We've met some incredible people, and that definitely continues day by day. Each day we meet someone, each day we are like, how are you even doing this? Someone who's an expert in groundwater study, who's expert in geology, someone who's expert in studying the rain, studying the sky, the universe. Each time you meet someone who has so much knowledge, it just amazes us. One person cannot know everything. So when you meet someone who's an expert in a different subject, it blows our mind. Someone who is so influential and politically connected, and they see your work and they want to support you. For example, we met one person, Mr. Gaurav Hegde in Mangalore. So humble, so nice, but so well connected, and he continues to connect us to people, and because he sees how genuine what our intentions are, and when people like that, like, talk about us, it puts us at a different pedestal. Like, like people like this continue to support us, and we are like, wow, okay, we might meet some bad people, but when we meet people like this, it just brings up our spirit.
There are pillars, there are support.
Yeah.
Who will stand by irrespective.
Yeah.
Thanks, Harsha. I think we would have definitely, it's always a short duration to have these conversations, but we'll want to get Guru on now.
Absolutely.
If we can make the switch, maybe we'll have both of you in frame towards the end.
Yeah.
But
Sure.
for now, give us a minute or two, we'll get Guru and we'll be back.
Super. Thank you.
We had Harsha on, and we're waiting to get another microphone here. Maybe then we could have had both of them in the frame, but it's fine. All in good time. We'll have them both in one frame very soon. Now we are with Gurunandan Rao.
Yes, Adarsh
Gurunandan
Sakare.
Rao is here, and you could almost see the energy between Harsha and Guru, right? Though Guru was off the frame, like both of them are feeling and saying the same thing. And these things don't happen every day, right? You got to really be aligned with something, with purpose, with energy, with intention. And when you do that, then these kind of almost magical things happen. You'll notice a lot of people have fights, right? Two people starting something, and very rarely some people get together and work on something. That's because they are aligned with something, and that's clearly what's happening with their non-profit. Anyway, welcome to the second part of this episode. Guru, thanks. We have never met.
Yes,
but,
Adarsh.
you trusted us, and thank you for that. It's
That's because Harsha trusted you.
yeah,
It's as simple as that.
Yes, thank you. Because for us, it's I'm very proud of sitting here opposite both of you. It's like you're someone who's contributing to taking care of the planet. Bro, Adila, it's not like someone can say, oh, I'm great at a certain skill, software gotto, software gotto, I'm great at a certain sport. But taking care of nature, it's like, bro, it's almost, I would say, equivalent to a doctor, bro.
Right.
You're taking care of lives.
Right.
Right. So, yeah, for you, what is it, Guru? Why is it important for you to restore lakes?
Okay. So, first of all, Adarsh, thank you for having us on this on your show. It's the first time that I'm a part of a podcast.
Super.
Okay. And I've seen thousands of podcasts, and I was like, "Hey, so nicely, people do it and all that." Never been I got an opportunity. So thank you so much for having us on this. I basically come from a temple town called Dharmasthala in Karnataka. It's
Gone once.
you've gone once. So even if I was born and brought up in Bangalore, born in Dharmasthala but brought up in Bangalore because my dad is an advocate. He's been working in the High Court of Karnataka for close to 40 years. I'm 35 now, and all my schooling, education, blah blah blah, everything is in Bangalore. So but you've been once to Dharmasthala. I go every month, once or twice, not to the actual temple but to our house. That's how deeply we are connected to our house and our gods and our daivas and all of them there. Okay, I think you might know what a daiva is. Like after seeing the Kantara movies and all of that, now it's become very famous.
Aware of.
Okay, so we are very deeply connected. So basically what happens is in that place it's the Western Ghats. Okay, and right, like 10 meters from my house is the forest. Okay, and every rainy season, and it rains like mad in the rainy season, and summers it's super hot. And in the rainy season, our jalantar, andre the veranda in front of our house, it actually oozes out water. it's so much, there is so much water in the earth that the earth, like, it's say the earth is like a sponge.
Overflowing.
Yeah, like earth is like a sponge. The sponge is like full and it's overflowing. So that is how much water actually comes out of the earth. And it is some, I think, hectares and hectares of some 5-6 hills in front of our eyes. And we could just walk inside that forest. That is like our forest only. Even if it belongs to the forest department, it's like our forest because it's 10 meters from my house. And it's like, that's how we see it. So I've seen these springs. They are called springs. Okay. So allallalli kadali elinda springs banbidodu. Neer elinda barutte. How is the water coming? Where is it coming from? We used to just follow the springs. We used to follow.
For the source.
For the source. Where is it coming from? Because we were children there back then. And me and my sisters and all of them, we used to just walk inside the forest, go to another hill. From there, we find a way to another house there. And then from there again, come back to our house and all that nonsense we used to do. And this was in our summer holidays. And in summer holidays, we used to get so much water there. Okay. In summer holidays, there were springs which were oozing out. And just imagine what would happen in the rainy season. That's crazy rains. Now you don't find all of that. Now you don't find these springs. They are all stopped. They have literally stopped. Okay.
Any part of the year or during summer?
During summer, it is stopped.
It doesn't.
There are no springs. So basically, Earth is still hungry for water. Like, I need more water.
Thirsty.
I need to. She's thirsty. So, okay, that story apart. So that is where I come from. Also, I come from a family of lawyers and musicians. Okay. My Vidya Bhushan is one very famous singer of Karnataka. My grandmother and Vidya Bhushan singer, they were all students of the same guru.
Wow.
Okay. So Carnatic music has been like my mom's favorite. Art has been a part of my blood, like, and mom kind of, from the beginning, she's very interested in music and all of that. And my dad is an advocate. So law, being right, and all of that, like, he's like the go-to man for a lot of people in our village and also in Bangalore today, for, how to get things right, what to do, just in case you get into shit, like, what to do. So he will sort it out for you. So he's regarded as like one of those guys who's like a no nonsense taker. If it is this is it. If it is solvable, it is solvable. If you are right, you are right. If you are wrong, you're wrong. That is where he comes from, and those values kind of stick with me very strong. And my grandfather is another crazy fellow. So he started one school in Dharmasala from his land. So he gave that 3-4 acres and told government school I will give it to the government, give it to the panchayat, and start one school here because a lot of tribal children were there and there was no school. So start the school. So social service and all of that is very passionate from my grandfather. I think that is kind of stuck to me. Okay. Yeah, coming from a family of lawyers and musicians, music is something that I have learned from a childhood. So I sing and I play the tabla. Oh. So at some point of time, tabla was like one crazy instrument I was in love with and I wanted to learn the tabla. And I'm a student of Pandit Vishwanath Nakod. So I play the tabla. I've been playing forever. Whoever knows me, they know me as like, the tabla guy. Okay. And after that I did my mechanical engineering. I don't know why I did my mechanical engineering. Frankly, sumne madade ashte. Okay, just I did it. It's very silly, but I still love to drive cars. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಮೆಕ್ಯಾನಿಕಲ್ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿದೆ. Not the only one.
Half of your class
would most of the times ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ಫೆಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡು ಅದ್ ಮಾಡು ಇದು ಮಾಡು ಬರೀ ಬೇರೆ ಇಂಜಿನಿಯರಿಂಗ್ ಓದ್ತಾ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ ನಾವು. And then what happened, I was working as a design engineer after my mechanical engineering. Okay. First year, and that year I was earning more money in music than being a design engineer. I was playing so many shows. I was playing a lot of concerts. All right. So, and that I was like, why should I even need this? And a typical mechanical factory shop will work on a Saturday also. Okay.
Oh wow.
Okay, so it's typical that way. So Monday to Saturday, 6 days work, 7th day off. Again Monday go back to work. But 6 days they used to pay a month. They used to pay some 11,000 rupees.
Which year was it?
This was in 2011-12. 11-12. So I was 2011 pass out.
Typical salaries.
A typical salary of a mechanical industry. Then I was like, hey, no, dude, this is not happening. Let's go do music full time. But coming from a middle class family, I was like, full time music madre opkontara. And I also had a keen interest on MBA because why did that come in? Because we were managing a lot of fests, we were managing a lot of all of that. Inspiration was, okay, probably we've got good managerial skills because we manage all of these things. Then MBA ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. But by then, I was little mature enough to understand, if I'm doing an MBA, I don't want to do the normal MBA. Same old HR, marketing, sales and all of that. I don't want to do finance and all that. What to do? ಹುಡುಕ್ತಾ ಇರ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ a miracle happened. My mom was just reading the newspaper and she gave me a newspaper clipping which said MBA in CSR. I was like, what is the CSR? What is the CSR? So CSR stands for Corporate Social Responsibility. I was like, okay, what is this? Anta hoge. I started researching and then got to know, and I also met some of the academia guys some senior academia guys to understand what is this all about and all of that. So I read the law. That is when India made corporate social responsibility a mandate. India was the first country to make CSR a mandate.
Oh, really?
Okay. Yeah. So in the whole world,
surprising.
very surprising. Yeah. India was the first country in the world to make CSR a mandate. This was in 2013.
Pretty awesome, no?
It's crazy. It's one of the best decisions India has made, actually, right?
Especially for all the MNCs that have come.
Right.
This is great.
Right.
You keep money aside for the environment or else don't do business.
Yeah. For social service, not environment specific. So Companies Act changed in 2013. So the 1967 wala Companies Act got amended and changed in 2013. So now it's called Companies Act 2013, not this one. And in Companies Act 2013, there was one section 135 which said 2% of company profit for certain companies was mandate. The beautiful thing in that was a section which said what all has to be done under CSR. While it said all, eradicating hunger, poverty, education, blah, 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 there was one line item which said promotion of art and culture is CSR. I was like, magandiದ್ ನನಗೆ ಇದು ನನಗೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ಇದು. ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ ಇದು ಫುಲ್ ಒಂಥರ ಅವ್ರು ಮಾಡಿರೋದು ನಾನು ಲೈಕ್ ಹೂ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಫುಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಚ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಯಾ, ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ. ಗಾಡ್ ಮೇಡ್ ದಿಸ್ ಪ್ಲಾನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಮೀ.
Dream to the constitution.
Yeah, ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಷನ್ಗೆ ನನ್ನ ಡ್ರೀಮ್ ದೇ ಫಿಟೆಡ್ ಇಟ್ ದೇರ್. So that was crazy. Then I went to the college. This was in Mysore. A college called CSR Center of Excellence, which was deemed to the Mysore University. So the whole of India, Mysore University was the only university which had the guts to pilot an MBA CSR. Okay.
Pretty forward of them.
Yeah. That was very gutsy of them. So no other college piloted this, and we were the first batch of it. And they told, you are going to be an experimental batch. So we were guinea pigs. Okay. ಅವತ್ತಿಗೆ ಗಿನಿ ಪಿಕ್ಸ್, ಟುಡೇ ದೇ ಕಾಲ್ ಅಸ್ ವಿಷನರೀಸ್. ಅವತ್ತು ಯೋಚನೆ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೆ ನೀನು CSR is going to, back then we were still guinea pigs. For me, art and culture, that was what is the only thing. Okay, so they told us you are going to be a experimental batch. This is a 2-year full-time CSR MBA. That MBA was really good.
Yeah.
Really good.
Must have enjoyed it.
I loved it. That was a hybrid of how a company works and how an NGO works. Now, while we studied topics of strategy, finance, marketing, blah, we also studied a lot of development sector topics like rehabilitation, resettlement, like how the government works, how empowerment works. Not only women empowerment, but the entire community empowerment works. How do law work? How does the law work? So a lot of such topics, right? And economics we studied, but we studied developmental economics. So we also studied carbon sequestration and SDGs, the Sustainable Development Goals, and all of that in those times, like 10 years back. I'm talking about 10 years ago.
Which is at the time those terms were not even.
Yeah, no, they were not even famous, right? So we spoke about all of that and we studied all of that in depth. And for me, like you said, this is like, for me, adonthara full sync agbiಡ್ತು, and I really performed well in this entire thing. Mechanically, I really was a horrible student, just scraped through. But here I stood forth for the university, like with all of them.
Been proud.
My dad was extremely happy. Yeah,
But he was
they kind
okay
of
with this,
knew.
odd option.
Yeah. He validated all of this. He took the principal on. He took on the principal. He was like, "Yen ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ? ಯಾಕೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದೀರಾ ಇದನ್ನ? What is this? Why is this?" All of that he also asked. Like he also has to. He knows the Companies Act also, no? So that's how it works. This is crazy. So I cannot bullshit anything to my dad.
He will your principal.
Neither. Right.
Actually, I will fucking around.
So only after due diligence he agreed for this. Without due diligence he will never. He needs proper concept note. It's no going forward. So again, no nonsense for him. So he was okay with that, and he also knows that if I do something in my interest, I will really excel in that. That is something he really knows well. ನನಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ರೆಸ್ಟ್ ಇಲ್ದಿರೋದನ್ನ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ I will show the world that I'm not interested in this. But if I'm interested, then I will go kill it. Whatever it is, I will go kill it, nail it. So that's how I've been from the school days. Like I'm not interested in studying something, I will just not study. But if I'm interested in something, like I'll go full all in for that. So yeah, MBA happened. I excelled in that, and then I was campus placed to this amazing company called Robert Bosch.
Okay.
I was the only person in our entire 18-member batch to be placed
In this.
Not only company, but placed ಬರೀ ಒಬ್ಬನೇ. ಬೇರೆ ಯಾರು ಬೇರೆ ಎಲ್ಲರೂ went into some other jobs of marketing, some other. I was the only guy who went into core CSR work.
Oh, you got job related to your study.
CSR, yeah.
That is also nice. Something.
All of them got placed, but they were all getting into some other, like banking, because they've done an MBA and all of that, right? But I was the one who got into the subject that I studied. So I was placed as a senior officer, corporate social responsibility. That was my designation.
Equal to your other friends, or lesser, or more at that point?
Equal.
It was paid equal.
Equal. And we reported to the president of Bosch.
Wow.
Direct jump, and we were in the president's office. We sat with the president because the law itself was so beautifully done that the CSR had to be done by the president's office.
Directly. Yeah.
So, signed off directly from the president's office. So that is where I understood, like, how beautiful this law is, and how all the stakeholders who are in that are also responsible of doing and conducting their acts towards social responsibility. So I was in Bosch for 4 years, and in those 4 years, I was like the man of CSR in Bosch, wherein all the new inductions early, there was no CSR as a topic. We brought that in. Okay, and Bosch used to hire at least 200-300 people on a monthly basis, and all of them used to undergo inductions, right? So all various departments come, HRs, finance, and all of them come and tell them about how their appraisals, orientation tara. So orientationally, CSR was not a topic, but we are so passionate about CSR. We went and told the HR, why do you don't have CSR as a topic? Include Madi, idanu Madi. So they included, and I was given I was the representative. So every month, 200 to 300 people used to get to know my face, and my responsibility there was employee engagement. Engagement, there were around 21,000 people there, and everyone had to be involved in corporate social responsibility. Do good. Whatever you want, you do good. Do good to the society.
Beautiful.
You don't, people, planet, ನೀವು ಗಿಡ ನಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾರಿಗೋ ಒಬ್ರಿಗೆ ಡೊನೇಷನ್ ಕೊಡಿ, really does not matter, but do something good to the society. So that was my responsibility. And we also used to kind of ideate a lot of projects, and projects are different, employee engagement was different. So I used to do that. That was my roles and responsibility. So 4 years I really excelled a lot. When I was doing this MBA, right, 2 years, there we had a hypothesis, okay, which said a lot of companies like the Bosches and the Toyotas and the Intels of the world, they can hire full-time resources, like how they hired me, and pay them equal to the market price and all of that. But a lot of companies, there were around 16,000 companies in India which were supposed to do CSR because of that law which came in 2013.
Not doing.
But they were just cutting a check to the PM Cares Fund, PM Relief Fund, and saying that we are done with CSR.
It's still happening.
It's still happening. So we were like, okay, if there are so many companies which are not doing, I think we need to have a agency which will help them to do that CSR. There has to be someone, because what happens if you are an HR in a company, ಅವ್ರು ನಿಮಗೆ ಹಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ, ನೋಡಪ್ಪ CSR ನೀನೇ ಮಾಡ್ಬಿಡು ಅಂತ. ಇಲ್ಲ, if you are a marketing guy, they will just tell, okay, this is an extra goal for you, we will give you some budget, do CSR. And that you will realize only by March 1st that, March 31st you have to exhaust that fund. You don't know what to do. The easiest thing is to just
off on something
and just give it to the paying. Yeah. That's it. So that was the brainchild of Handson Foundation.
In which year?
This was in 2018.
So until then you were with
I was with Bosch. Yeah. So then 2018 took a jump. By then I was also married, and my wife was also, like, she's a very brilliant girl, and she got into Bosch through her campus in placement and all that. ನಾನು ಕೆಲಸ ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. She was like, ಜಾಲಹಳ್ಳಿಯಿಂದ ಕೋರಮಂಗಲ ತನಕ ದಿನ ನನಗೂ ಓಡಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. I am also going. She also left. Both of us left. Both of us have no job. And she's also a musician. She's like, if you are following your dream, I am also going to follow my dream.
which is what?
She's a musician. She's a Carnatic musician.
So she wanted to pursue music.
Music full time.
Next level work. Lucky you are.
Yeah. So
How many girls are lucky?
okay, both of us quit our job in the same month. 1 month later she came out. ನಾನು ಮಾರ್ಚ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಏಪ್ರಿಲ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಅವಳು she is like, I'm coming out. But in this process of being in Bosch and all of that, I had also kind of had a lot of peers from other companies who I had got in touch with,
Who believe in,
who did not have a direction of how to do CSR.
but they wanted to.
They wanted to.
Beautiful.
Why did they consider asking me? Because I'm a MBA CSR. 2 ವರ್ಷ ಬರೀ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ.
Credibility ಇದೆ.
2 ವರ್ಷ ಬರೀ ಇದನ್ನೇ ಓದಿದ್ದೀನಿ. ಎದ್ರೆ ಕೂತ್ರೇನಿದ್ರೆ CSR ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ನಾನು. Alright, so ಹಂಗಾಗಿ a lot of companies kind of knew that Guru is some guy who knows CSR. So when I came out, first thing was to call all of them and tell that, okay, Bosch ಬಿಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇವಾಗ I am here to, I have my own thing going on. First started this as a consulting firm, because we also already had a data of around 40,000 NGOs in India. 40 lakh NGOs in India.
You had access?
No, I did not have access, but this is the data. There are 40 lakh NGOs in India.
Oh, you knew?
Yeah. Okay. ಆಗಲೇ ಅಷ್ಟು NGOs ಇರಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಯಾಕೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು NGO ಆಗಬೇಕು ಅಂತ. That was our school of thought. We thought we'll do consulting work.
Become middleman.
We'll become a middleman. Very soon, like after 1 month of being as an entrepreneur, that was the first time entrepreneurship for me, I realized all of these NGOs ಯಾರು ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ.
ಅಂದ್ರೆ
ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಿ no one is soiling their hands, at least the ones I knew.
Outsourcing it. They again outsourcing it to someone, you're saying? Or?
Yeah, they will again give it to some maestri or some guy who will probably do it, or some of these people just talk. They are like, they'll just talk very good English. They will tell all these social causes, social cause ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. They will talk about ವೆರಿ ಬಿಗ್ ನಂಬರ್ಸ್. ಪಾಪ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬಿಡ್ಬೇಕು, ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಇಂಡಿಯಾಲಿ ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ತುಂಬ ಬಡತನ ಇದೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ದುಡ್ಡು ತೊಗೊಂಡೋಗ್ಬಿಡೋರು. ಲೈಕ್ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಡವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಅಷ್ಟು ಬಡವ್ರು ಇಲ್ಲ ಯಾರು, ಆಯಿತಾ. ಅಯ್ಯೋ ಪಾಪ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ದಟ್ ಕರ್ಟಿಸಿ ಪಾಪ 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 ಅಂತ ತೋರಿಸ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಮಾಡೋದೇನಿದೆಲ್ಲ, ದಟ್ಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಸಿಂಪತಿ ಮೇಲೆ ದೇ ಯೂಸ್ ಟು ವರ್ಕ್. ಸೊ ಯಾರು ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಲೈಕ್ really soiling your hands, that was missing, I felt. Okay, there are some very good NGOs, I am not telling everyone is like that. Okay, there are some who like
They
really
won't be known much.
ಅಂಥವ್ರು ಗೊತ್ತಾಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ.
The ones who are not doing the work,
They do it. Okay, so 1 month down the lane, consulting ಎಲ್ಲ ಬೇಡ, this space does not need consulting, this space actually needs people who do work,
needs work.
need work, ಕೆಲಸ on ground, go to the work, go to the field, get the work done. So that's when we registered the foundation, and after that there was no
Who's you only know.
So initially I was the founder, so ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಯಾರೋ ಇರಬೇಕಿತ್ತಲ್ಲ, so there were 2 other trustees. One was my mom, and there were 2 others, who was one retired commissioner of Provident Fund, again an uncle who I knew from my childhood, and another industrialist who is a well-wisher of us. So ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೇರ್ಕೊಂಡು we started. I told sir, I need your support because the trust deedಗೆ ಜನ ಬೇಕಾಗ್ತಾರೆ, ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ರೀ, ನಾನು ಮಾಡ್ಕೊತೀನಿ ಇದ್ರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಅಂತ. So they told, okay, you do it. But our Provident Fund, I told, he's very strict about all the laws and all of that. You have to kind of abide by everything, and he's also an advocate and all of that. So after that there was no looking back, Adarsh. It was to be very frank with you, the last 5 years has been so good. God has given us a lot of work. ಕೈ ತುಂಬ ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ಇನ್ನೂ ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೂ ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಕೆಲಸ ಕೊಡ್ತಾರೆ ದೇವರು. ಅಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ,
and very few people to do it.
Yeah.
So that's the 2018 you registered, no?
Yeah.
And Harsha joined you in 2020.
22 ish, yeah.
So what has Harsha brought to the table that changed things for you?
Yeah, so Harsha, when we met in that common platform, ಸೊ ನಾನು ಯಾರನ್ನು ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದರಲ್ಲೇ ಮೀಟಿಂಗಲ್ಲಿ ಎಕ್ಸೈಟ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಓ ಸೂಪರ್ ಗುರು, ಬಾ ಬಿ ಅ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಟ್ರಸ್ಟಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಐ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಬಿಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೀರಿಯನ್ಸಸ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಪಾಸ್ಟ್ ವೇರ್ ಇನ್ ದೀಸ್ ಪಾರ್ಟ್ನರ್ಶಿಪ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದ್ಯಾಟ್ ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ನಾಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ಡ್. So it all, we discussed internally, and Harsha, this should take a long term for us to kind of work together. You first come to the field. Okay, ನಾನು ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ಯಾವಾಗಲೂ ಕೈ ಹಚ್ಚಿ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದ್ರಿಂದ I always call people, come to the field. I will see how many times a person will come to the field first. ದಿನ ಬೆಳಗ್ಗೆ ಎದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು 6 ಗಂಟೆ 7 ಗಂಟೆಗೆ ಐ ಆಮ್ ಗೋಯಿಂಗ್ ಟು ಅ ಲೇಕ್, join me, andre tomorrow morning 6 o'clock that person has to be ready and should have that motivation to come. Okay, first thing that Harsha bought was, if I used to tell 6 o'clock, he used to be there at 5:30.
Beautiful.
Okay, he used to come see the lake and all of that. Okay, we were doing a project with another corporate, and I kind of involved him from the beginning, telling that, okay, this is how the process will work, and can you come here, can you come there, can you come here. And again, for Harsha, those periods were not paying him. Okay, the first initial days. Okay, there is no we are not bound to kind of there was no ಮಾತುಕತೆ ಏನೇ ಆಗಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ that for your each visit ಇಷ್ಟು ಕೊಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ಏನೂ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ. So it's like, ನೀನು ಬಾ ನೋಡು, like this is like more of dating time, like like you come see, we'll see. So that happened for almost 2 years. Almost 1.5 2 years.
Oh wow.
Okay, and each time and also he was driving the landscaping business, right? So few people used to ask me, like I have and I was in touch with some architects and all of them. I used to give those leads to him and see how he handles that. So for me it was also like I had to build a team. Okay, from the day one, I come with some a school of thought which again very influenced by my dad, because he's got some 35-40 juniors who have worked under him, because in the lawyers that is how it works. A senior lawyer, you go work with the lawyer and then you become an independent thing. All these 35-40 juniors that have worked under him, even till date are in touch with him. Ivattugu is like, okay, because of him we are here. He's like,
That respect is there.
That respect is there, and that love is there. And if I look back and see why is that love, why is that respect, it's the way he has conducted with all of them. Like ಒಂದು ದಿನಾನು ಹೋಗೋ ಬಾರೋ ಅಂತ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಿರಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರನ್ನ. It's always ಹೋಗಿ ಬನ್ನಿ. Like if you pass out of college today and go to him, he will still be like, hogi banni hogi. Like that's the respect that he gives. And standing for the team members at peak of the night. 2 o'clock someone calls and tells, sir, accident agbidide, eno agbidide andre, he will just fucking rush to the site and make sure that the people are safe, and that love he shows towards people who are working with him, that has influenced us a lot. So thank God, even with me, it has been like that. There's one boy called Rohit who kind of started working with me as a supervisor. ಏನೂ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಅವನು ಹಿಂಗೆ ಯಾವುದೋ ಓದ್ಲ ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಕಾಲೇಜ್ನ 10th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಬಿಟ್ಟು 12th ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡಲ್ಲಿ ಕಾಲೇಜ್ ನಂಗೆ ಪಾಸ್ ಆಗೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಹಿಂಗಿದ್ದವನು. ಅವ್ರ ಮನೇಲಿ, ಸರ್ ಏನು ಮಾಡಲ್ಲ ಸರ್ ಇವನು ಅಂದ. ಸರಿ ಬಾ, ನೀನು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಫೋಟೋಗ್ರಫಿ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದ. ಸರಿ ಬಾ, ಈವೆಂಟ್ದೆಲ್ಲ ಫೋಟೋ ತೆಗಿ ನೀನು, ನಾವು ಒಂದಷ್ಟು ಜನ ವಾಲಂಟಿಯರ್ಸ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡೋಗಿ. ಅವ್ನು ಇವತ್ತಿಗೂ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗಿದ್ದಾನೆ 2018 Rohit anta. So this is a supervisor basically for all of our work. He does not get into all the management related work. So that is how Harsha jotegu we kind of and Harsha also was doing the same thing with me. Like to see if compatible agirtiva, wapas one more, because he also both are testing each other. Okay, and then we were like and he was like, at least okay, ಇವನು ನಿಜವಾಗ್ಲೂ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾನೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಆಲ್ ದೀಸ್ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಶಿಕಾರಿ ಪಳ್ಯ ಅಂತ ಲೇಕ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅಲ್ಲಿ 19-20 ಇಟಾಚಿಗಳು, ಒಂದು 6-7 ಡಂಪರ್ಗಳು, 18 ಎಕರೆ ಕೆರೆ, ಫುಲ್ಲು ಸೂಯೇಜ್ ತುಂಬಿರೋ ಕೆರೆ. ಇಲ್ಲೆಲ್ಲ ಬೆಳಿಗ್ಗೆ ಸಂಜೆ ತನಕ ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿ ದುಡಿಯೋದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ನೋಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದ. ನಾವು ಹಂಗೆ ಬಾ ಮಗ ಇವತ್ತು ಬಾ, ನೀನು ಅವತ್ತು ಬಾ, ಯಾವತ್ತು ಬಾ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ ಕರೆದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೆ. ಅವನು ಇಲ್ಲ, ನನಗೆ ಇವತ್ತು ಇದ್ದಿದೆ ಅದಿದೆ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಇಲ್ಲ ಇನ್ನೊಂದ್ಸತಿ ಬರ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ದಿನ ಬರೋನು. ಸೊ ಕರೆಕ್ಟಾಗಿ, ಸೊ ದರ್ ವಾಸ್ ನೋ ಸುಳ್ಳು ಹೇಳೋದಾಗ್ಲಿ ಅದು ಇದು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಇಲ್ಲ. ವಾಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಕಮಿಟಿಂಗ್ ಹಿ ವಿಲ್ ಡೂ ಇಟ್. ಸೊ ದಟ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ವಾಸ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪ್ರೆಸಿಂಗ್. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಕತೆಗಳು ಕಟ್ಟೋದು ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನಿಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮಿಬ್ರು ಮಧ್ಯಾಹ್ನ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ನಾವಿಬ್ರು ಕೂತ್ಕೊಂಡು ಮಾತಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಇಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿ ಟಾಕ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಅಬೌಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್, ನೋ ನಾನ್ ಸೆನ್ಸ್. ನಮ್ದೇನಿದೆ ಕೆಲಸ ನಾವು ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಓಕೆ ಡಡ್ಡ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಗೋ. ಸೊ ದೆನ್ ಕೇಮ್ ಅ ಡೇ ವೆನ್ one of the clients which we are really proud of having is SBI, State Bank of India. So State Bank of India bandaga it was Harsha. So then
what do you mean it was Harsha?
It was Harsha who kind of, by then we had kind of thought that we will work ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತೆಲ್ಲ we had gone. So Harsha kind of he was in a corporate that he was saying, no? So there he was leading the sales. So the minute Harsha wears his sales cap, no? Then, yeah. He's a very good sales guy. Okay, he's a very, very good sales guy. So he was also telling about his landscaping business, which was very profitable and all that. So if he start wearing his sales cap, so he will get into that mode. Okay, ಯಾರ್ಯಾರೆಲ್ಲ ಕಂಪನಿ, ಅವನಿಗೆ CSR ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಏನೂ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಗುರು ನಂಗೆ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಏನು ಹೇಳೋಲ್ಲ, ಲಾಗ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀನು ನೋಡ್ಕೊ, ಲಾಲ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು, ಕಂಪ್ಲೈನ್ಸ್ ಹೆಂಗಿರ್ಬೇಕಾರೆ ಅದೆಲ್ಲ ನಿಂದು. ಯು ಟೆಲ್ ಮಿ ಹೂಸ್ ಗಾಟ್ ದ ಮನಿ. You tell me who's got the money. We want to do good. ಗಿಡ ನೆಡ್ಬೇಕು ಇವಾಗ, ಆಯ್ತಾ, ಕೆರೆ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. You tell me who's got the money, we will go.
You point in the direction. I'll go get that money. Okay, then like okay, ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ ಮಗ. ಓಕೆ, ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಬ್ಯಾಂಕಿಂಗ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಆಟೋಮೋಟಿವ್ ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, IT ಸೆಕ್ಟರ್ ಇದೆ, ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನೀಟಾಗಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹೇಳ್ಕೊಟ್ಬಿಟ್ಟೆ. Within a month's time, he sets up a meeting with the SBI. Beautiful, right? So we go. So ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿರೋ ಕೆಲಸಗಳನ್ನ ಅದು ಇದು ಎಲ್ಲ ಸೆಟಪ್ ಮಾಡಿ ವಿ ಗೋ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ಟು SBI ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ಪಾಪ ಅದೇನು ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತೋ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಈ ಹುಡುಗರು ಪೊಟೆನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇದೆ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಅನ್ನಿಸ್ಬಿಡ್ತು. SBI had a lot of options, by the way. They had some 5 to 6 other NGOs who had proposed for this. I'm sure they'll have credible ones. Like
and their due diligence is very high. Their due diligence is very high. ಎಲ್ಲ ಚೆಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಫುಲ್ ಜಾತಕ ಎತ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಅವರು. ITR ಫೈಲ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ ಇಲ್ವಾ, ಅದು ಇದು ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಅಂತಾನೆ ಜನ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. Of course,
you knew the back end.
Yeah, that we have to all of that.
And you see why the partnership works, right? If Harsha, if you had to take care of that due diligence, legality, you would have probably slapped them and got out of there. Like, fuck it, I'm not doing this shit. I just want to restore the link.
ಸ್ಕ್ರೀನ್ ಮುಂದೆ ಕೂತ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ನನಗೆ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಯಾಕೆ ಗುರು ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ರಿ, ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪ್ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನನಗೆ.
See why?
Good at the screen.
Yeah. So then when State Bank of India happened, we both went, and that meeting was so amazing. I was like, okay.
What did they say?
So basically that was our first presentation. 1 ವರ್ಷ ಓಡಾಡ್ಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ. ತುಂಬಾ ಈಸಿ ಅಲ್ಲ ಟು ಗೆಟ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್. ಓಕೆ, 1 year we've kind of really ಓಡಾಡ್ಸಿದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳೋದಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ದಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದೇರ್ ಪ್ರಾಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಸೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಇಫ್
you pitch a project, a proposal.
Yeah.
This is the site, this is the data, this is what it needs, this is how much it needs, this is who we are, this is how we plan to do it.
So there are 2 ways of this. Okay, one is top down, the other one is bottom up. So bottom up henge andre we have some projects with us.
I know those concepts, but
we've got some projects with us. We go pitch, or it's the other way around. In SBI it was the other way around. They wanted
someone to come and execute it.
No, so they have a goal of planting 1 lakh saplings. Okay, simple as that. So they told, now you come with a plan and tell us where you are going to plant this. ಎಲ್ಲಿ ಗಿಡ ನೆಡ್ತೀರಾ, ಹೆಂಗ್ ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಾ, ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಯುವರ್ ಮೇಂಟೆನೆನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಟಜಿ, ಆಲ್ ದಟ್ ಬ್ಲಾ ಬ್ಲಾ ಬ್ಲಾ. So we went to them and told, this is the land, this is the permission letters that we have, this is our sustainability plan, this is what is going to happen with this piece of land, and adikke yaar stakeholders idare, and these are the MOUs, these are all the due diligence document, all of that we had to submit. We had to make sure that this is not a private land, this is a government land, this is an education related, trust related land, and all of that. So ಇದನ್ನೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿ we kind of convinced SBI to do plantation, and that year we also had a project Laksha Vriksha, which was our first collaboration project.
With whom?
Both of us collaborated. Yeah. So that is when Harsha also came into the organization.
It was parallel to the SBI project.
Yeah. Parallel to the SBI project. We had got a 9-acre land near Hebal for pure converting it into a tree park. So ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಟೈಮ್ ಹರ್ಷನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ಹರ್ಷ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನೋಡ ಒಂದು 9 ಎಕರೆ ಜಾಗ ಇದೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ, ಅದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ಹಿಂದೆ ಇಫ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಅ ಸ್ಟೋರಿ, ಹಿ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಪ್ಲಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಸಮ್ 500 saplings by crowd funding, and he was like, dude, what the fuck are you doing with such a big land? ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಫಂಡ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ರೈಸ್ ಫಂಡ್ಸ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಡೂ ದಿಸ್ ಅಂತ. ನನಗೆ ಕ್ರೌಡ್ ಫಂಡಿಂಗ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಏನು ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಆಯಿತಾ. ನನಗೆ CSR ಅಂದರೆ ಗೊತ್ತು. ಐ ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಐ ನೋ ದಟ್ ಐ ನೋ ದ ಚಾನಲ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾರ್ಪೊರೇಟ್.
This channel you are not aware of.
This channel I am not aware of. I did not know that people will really respond to our posts on Instagram and give money. Like, why will a single person give money even if they don't know me? And I had some 1,000 followers on Instagram, and they were all my classmates only from Ramaya. Okay. From Ramaya and MBS Kishore Kendra, ಅವರೇ 1,000 ಜನ. I was like, ಇವ್ರೇನಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಕೊಡೋದಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ. But then he's like, no Guru, I have done this in the past, I know how to do this. I told, okay.
Reality is, those are the 1,000 who might actually...
Yeah, the reality was that. I was like, okay, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ನಮ್ಮ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಗೊತ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಬ್ಯಾಂಗ್ಳೂರ್, ನಮ್ಮ ಬಾಯ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ. ನಿಮ್ ಪಾಡ್ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಹಿಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೋದಾ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿರಲಿಲ್ಲ.
Dude, I'm feeling his frustration. I'm like, let me release it for him.
ಸೊ ಇರೋ ಒಂದು 600 ಜನ 1000 ಜನ ಇವರೇ ನಮ್ಮ ಹುಡುಗ್ರೆ, ಆಯ್ತಾ. ನಾವೆಲ್ಲ ಲೋಕಲ್ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು ಹುಡುಗರು. ಇವನ್ ಯಾವನ ಗಿಡ ನಡ್ತಾನಂತೆ, ಇವನಿಗೇನ ಕಲೆ ಬರೋ ಅನ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹಂಗೆ ಇರ್ತಾರೆ. But then Harsha opened up a new paradigm for us.
Okay.
ಲೈಕ್ ಬಾಗರು ನೀನು ವಿಡಿಯೋ ಮಾಡು, ನೀನು ವಿಡಿಯೋಲಿ ಹಿಂಗೆ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ನೀನು ಅಂತ. ಸ್ಟೇಜಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತೀನಿ, ವಿಡಿಯೋಲ್ಲಿ ಮಾತಾಡೋ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ಚೆನ್ನಾಗಿ ಮಾತಾಡ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ. I used to do a lot of stage talking. I was okay with that. This was a new thing. Okay, then we did a video on Laksha Vriksha, and we planted around 3,000 saplings. And we got a lot of response from that. One of the person who came and planted with us connected us to SBI. So, and that was one of his friends and his friend's dad. So again, Harsha was wearing his sales cap. So that materialized, and that helped us to plant 32,000 saplings.
Also with this, sorry to, but we had a lot of celebrities from the Kannada film industry that we had to mention.
Please
you can mention the names.
Yeah. So we had Digant, we had Andrita Rai, and Prajwal Devraj, Ragini Devraj, and Vamrani, Vani Murthy ma'am, and Samyukta Hornad. And we also had the artist, what's his name, with Samyukta Badal Nanjunda Swami. All of them who had come to our plantation drives, and they also kind of because of their presence, our plantation, the Laksha Vriksha, kind of really became big.
What is this Laksha Vriksha? Can you tell me?
So project Laksha Vriksha is to plant 1 lakh saplings. Okay, not only to planting is very simple, but to maintain them for a minimum of 3 years.
This is still ongoing.
So we've achieved almost that 1 lakh. This was a 1-year project actually. In the 1 year, we wanted to do that 1 lakh plants. So we almost achieved around 80,000 of that, which we are very happy about. Because even 80,000 saplings, now we know every sapling where they are, what is the condition.
This month we are going to cross.
Yeah. This month I think we will cross.
So you will achieve what you set out for.
We want to, yeah. We really go for it. And lately we found out that, if we go see a project and ಅದನ್ನ ನೋಡ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ತಲೆ ಕೆಟ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಮಗೆ ಅದನ್ನ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೆಂಗಾದ್ರೂ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಹೆಂಗೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಿಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ದ ಹೋಲ್ ಯೂನಿವರ್ಸ್ ವಿಲ್ ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಕಮ್ ವಿತ್ ಅಸ್. Really, the whole universe will just come with us to do that project. The best example is the army lake. We went and saw the army lake with the brigadier, and the minute we saw, like both of us were like so excited. We were like, "Magan ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಇದನ್ನ, ಏನಾದ್ರೂ ಸರಿ ಮಾಡ್ಲೇಬೇಕು ಅಂತ." And army being army, like they like start the work tomorrow. ನಾವು ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡೋಣ, ದುಡ್ಡೆಲ್ಲಿದೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ? 11 ಎಕರೆ ಕೆರೆ, ಅದು 11 ಎಕರೆ ಕೆರೆ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ ಅಂತ. ಸೊ but we were very, very sure that we would do that, and in two months time we converted that and we started the project.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. 2 weeks only we got the fund and we started the project. So ivaga we've reached that place wherein we see a social bad, and if we really connect with that and say that okay, we can do this need not be a lake only. This could also be a school. We go to a government school and feel, fuck, why are children studying in this kind of a school? We will convert it. ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದಾದ್ರೂ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬಂದೆ.
You know the route now. Figure out the route.
We will figure out the route. We will go to people. See, because our intention and our intent is very, very clear, boss. Very clear. Now, ಹೋಗ್ಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ, see, we are not going there to ask anything for ourselves. I'm personally connected with a lot of IAS officers in Karnataka. Everyone picked my call even today. Why? Because I have not asked for a single personal favor from them. A lot of KS officers, all of our forest department officers, ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಹೋಗಿ ಮೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ. ಯಾರನ್ನೋ, even politicians for that example, for that matter, not a single personal favor. Whenever we go there to ask only favor for someone else, only favor for a lake. ಸರ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾನ್ಸ್ಟಿಟ್ಯೂಯೆನ್ಸಿಲಿ ಒಂದು ಕೆರೆ ಇದೆ, ಆ ಕೆರೆ ನಾವು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತಿದ್ವಿ, ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ನಾವು ಒಂದು ಫಂಡ್ ತರ್ತೀವಿ, ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ ಇದಕ್ಕೆ? ಸೊ ವೆನ್ ವಿ ಗೋ ವಿತ್ ದಟ್ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್, ವಿ ಹವ್ ನೆವರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಡ್ ಅ ಪ್ರಾಬ್ಲಮ್ ವರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟ್. ಅ ಲಾಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಪೀಪಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಲೇಂಟ್, ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟು ಸರ್ಕಾರ ಜೊತೆ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡೋದು ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ. ಕೂತ್ ಮಾತಾಡ್ಸಿದ್ರೆ ಏನಕ್ಕೆ ಕಷ್ಟ ಅಂತ ನನಗೆ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ತನಕ ಅದು ಅರ್ಥನೇ ಆಗೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಯಾಕಂದರೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಅಷ್ಟು ಕ್ಲಿಯರ್ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆಮೇಲೆ ನಾವು ಬಿಡೋದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು. ಅವ್ರಿಗೂ ನಾವು ಎಷ್ಟು ಲವ್ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೈಕ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಪಾಲಿಟಿಷಿಯನ್ ವೆರಿ ವೆರಿ ಫೇಮಸ್ ಗಾಯ್ ಕೆನ್ ಐ ನೇಮ್ ಹಿಮ್ ಆನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಓಕೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಬೈರೇಗೌಡ ಸರ್ ಓಕೆ ಕೃಷ್ಣ ಬೈರೇಗೌಡ ಸರ್ಗೆ ದೆರ್ ವಾಸ್ ಅ ಲೇಕ್ ಕಾಲ್ಡ್ ಹುಣ್ಸ್ಮಾನಹಳ್ಳಿ on the airport road. He was so happy with that lake though. So the thing is, to have these meetings with him is little difficult because he's one of the ministers, revenue ministers of, he's the revenue minister of Karnataka. It's very hard to have a meeting with him, but when we have that 5 to 10 minutes, it actually goes on to 15-20 minutes because he also gets into technical details about okay Kiran hing madi because he also knows the history of the lake. He's been a continuous MLA there for this is the third or fourth time he's become there. He knows the history of that. Not only that, what we do is we also go back to the history and tell sir avatangittala ivatingittala navella satellite data ella tagondu hogbirtivi. So we kind of tell that we are a NGO which is a very technical NGO, which is a very social NGO and which is also a very ecologically sensible NGO. So ella ee mooru paradigms na we stitch together very well. So ecological angle, social angle, and ecological and the technical angle.
What I wanted to ask you is, what did we do so wrong that the lakes don't have water?
What did we do so wrong? A lot of things.
Isn't nature more powerful than us? Can't it just take care of itself?
To some extent.
Why are we needing to do so much?
See,
doesn't nature have a healing?
Yeah.
Istella. Why, bro? Like you grow up thinking you don't need to do all this.
Yeah.
Nature will take care of itself. And now suddenly everything is a problem. We threw garbage. We emit smoke from our cars. And where did it go wrong? Right? Why did we land up here, you think?
So there are two questions that you are asking. One question is, what wrong did we do? The second question is, can nature heal itself? Can I answer both of them? So one ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, what did we do wrong? A lot of things that we are doing is wrong. Lot of things. Say for example, ಒಂದು ಮನೆ ಕಟ್ತೀವಿ ಅನ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ, ಓಕೆ, ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಸರಿನಾ ತಪ್ಪೋ?
You asking me?
No, ಅದನ್ನ ಡಿಬೇಟ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ sometimes it is right. No, wait,
I don't see anything wrong in it.
So what we should have done is ಆ ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಪಾರ್ಕಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಾವು ಬೇಸ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಕೆತ್ತಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಮಿನಿಮಮ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಒಂದು 12 ಅಡಿ ಎತ್ತಬೇಕು. 12 feet we'll have to go down.
Okay.
What if that 12 feet was an aquifer?
What is an aquifer?
What is an aquifer? So basically these are cracks in the earth which hold water. Okay, and these are also shallow sometimes. Your normal wells, okay, these are all shallow aquifers. You just go 10-15 feet below, you get a well, the normal traditional wells that you find, right? So they were all in that shallow aquifer belt. Now did someone go there, assess that area? Say for example Malleshwaram alli nanu shallow aquifers itta? The answer is yes. Because did Malleshwaram have wells? The answer is yes. So many houses, old houses in Malleshwaram, if you go, there were wells. There were wells, correct? You remember?
100%.
So these wells simply means that there were shallow aquifers. So now what have we done? In the name of building a house, we could have put 4 pillars and made parking first floor and second floor, but we did parking basement 1 and basement 2.
So we blocked that water
So
source.
blocked alla kettu bisak bididivi adanella.
Oh, yeah, it's gone.
Blocked alla, that aquifer is gone. We've messed the aquifer. So now, just in case, the thing is, it's not the mistake of that civil engineer or someone, okay? That's basically awareness. If someone or some researcher, and again, this is a problem with India, no? So we don't do a lot of research. So research mindset in academia is not there.
I also feel like we didn't care too much. Because for you to do research, you need to care, boss.
Right. That's again goes back to education.
You're right, because if now we spoke about how Harsha is a nature lover, right?
Yeah.
If you give Harsha axe and say you dig, he'll say, okay, wait, hold on, I'll do it for you, but let me see.
Yeah, let me see. Yeah.
But nobody taught him to do that.
Right.
That is, again, it goes back to values. So it's not that we didn't do research.
See, there's actually a very interesting story. We did a lake called Chiktim Sandra. Okay. What had happened was the lake was actually divided into two. That lake was in a ball shape, in a boat shape, and right in the center there was a road. There was a road. It's a village actually, Chiktim Sandra in Anekar. Okay, there was a road and which was used by the villagers. So when someone asked us to restore it, they had already asked another person to restore it to cut the entire road and make that road in the periphery.
Beautiful.
Okay, cut that road. But the problem is in that road there were a lot of old traditional trees. Okay, there is something called Holematti ficus. What is that? Terminalia Arjuna. Okay, Terminalia Arjuna trees, and there were some 20-30 of them in one row. We told, you cannot remove this road. We will not allow you to do that because there are trees. So then they were like, okay, what to do? We told, make that road into an island. Cut the access to that road. Let the road be because there are trees. See, that awareness. If it was another contractor, right? He would say, hey, yatra, ನನಗೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದು ಅಂತ. But we are, see, all contractors and all of them, no, they have to go through some kind of an education about all of these things. ಈ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಇಲ್ಲ. ಆ ಅವೇರ್ನೆಸ್ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಬರುತ್ತೆ. ಕನ್ಸರ್ನ್ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಎವ್ರಿ ಪ್ರಾಜೆಕ್ಟ್ ವಿ ಡೂ, we'll be like, okay, can we do this? Can we take a deviation and all of that? So that...
I like your point. It's not about, I don't think it's just directly about ethics. I think it's about awareness.
It's about awareness.
Yeah.
Just tell me, show me one person on a sunny day who would prefer to stand in the sun than stand below a tree. Anyone in the planet would always want to stand under a tree, and he will appreciate, oh, because of this tree today I am able to do this. And everyone appreciates being it. I would not say a single person would say that, okay, why is this tree giving me shade? No one will complain. Only if that tree could speak. I always we did one more lake, Gonigatapura, some 200 year old tree. I always tell Harsha that mara matadangirbekiತ್ತು. So many interesting stories we would have got to know, and people would have kind of sat and learned from the tree, like how things are. I think we will just go into that mood of talking to these.
That's pretty crazy to think of it like that. What if trees could speak?
Oh my God. 200 years of wisdom.
So, you told me what we went wrong with. So, it's basically lack of awareness while the development happened. Now, again, escalating that same thing.
There was another question that you asked, like, why is Mother Nature not retaliating?
Yeah.
So, see, basically, if I have to say, Mother Nature is recovering herself, okay? But recovering by not in the right direction, because she's also not. See, if I consider Bangalore, let's only talk about Bangalore, okay? In Bangalore, the heat waves that you see, why is Bangalore is because of that one small opening in the Western Ghats, which actually hits directly all that story. I think you would have known. That's why it's so cool here and all of that. So chances of earthquake, chances of all these showers, sudden showers and all of that is very, very low. And Bangalore being a hilltop, and all the water like usually flows down, and it actually we are in a very safe place. But what happens as a retaliation to the damage that we create in Bangalore is not in Bangalore. It will happen somewhere else. It will not happen in Bangalore. It will happen somewhere else. Probably Bangalore gets the heat waves, and Andhra will get the cold waves. And Andhra, a place which is supposed to be dry and arid, will start getting a lot of rains. If you see Anantapur district now gets a lot of rain.
Is it? Anantapur is what, 2 hours away?
3-4 hours away. Yeah. Now Anantapur actually last 4-5 years has got more rain than what it was getting traditionally.
So
it'll keep impact will change. It'll sometimes these showers might happen even in the neighboring country. You never know.
So can I move, or you
go ahead? That's it. Yeah.
Because I have so many questions related to the same thing. Climate change is real, or what?
Climate change is definitely real.
And humans are causing climate change?
Yes. I would say yes.
This is humans. It's always been like, Okay, how much percentage of climate change are we contributing to?
So, believe in thermodynamics.
Okay, what do you mean?
What is thermodynamics?
It's been a while since.
Okay.
Macha is saying it so casually. No, I don't.
So you believe in science, right? So we all believe in
of
science.
course, understood.
So what's
I'm gonna get so much shit for this after doing PCMB.
ನಾವು ಅದೇ ಇದೆಲ್ಲ okay, so basically any object, right, it always wants to come back to its original stage. That is the law. Always wants to come back to its, ಅದೇ ಸೋಂಬೇರಿಗಳು ನಾವು ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಮರದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಕೂತಿದ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಮರದ ಕೆಳಗೆ ಆರಾಮಾಗಿ ಕೂತಿರ್ಬೇಕು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ನಮ್ಗೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟ ಇರೋದಿಲ್ಲ. ಸೊ ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೋ ಒಂದು ಕೆಲಸ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ನಾವು ಇವಾಗ ಕೋಲ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ ಗೊತ್ತಾದರೆ ಫುಲ್ ಕೆತ್ತು ಬಿಸಾಕ್ಬಿಡ್ತೀವಿ ಅದನ್ನು, ಆಯಿತಾ? ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ಮುಗಿಯೋ ತನಕ ಕೆತ್ತೀವಿ. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಲಿಥಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರೀಸಿಂದ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತಂದರೆ ದುಡ್ಡು ಬರೋ ತನಕ. ಸೊ ದಿಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಬೇಸಿಕಲಿ ಅನ್ ಎಕಾನಮಿ ಇನ್ ವಿಚ್ the entire world exploit. So this is the whole what do you say, fight between nature, money, economics, blah blah blah. All right. So ಇದರಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ತುಂಬ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ತುಂಬ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಕ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಫಾರ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ಕ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿಂದನೋ ತೆಗಿತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲಿಗೋ ಟ್ರಾನ್ಸ್ಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಬರ್ನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಎಲ್ಲೋ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಯು ಆರ್ ಟೇಕಿಂಗ್ ಮೋರ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದರ್ ಇಸ್ ನೋ ವೇ ಆಫ್ ಗಿವಿಂಗ್ ಬ್ಯಾಕ್. ಕ್ರೂಡ್ ಆಯಿಲ್ನ ನೀವು ಇವತ್ತು ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿ ಮ್ಯಾನುಫ್ಯಾಕ್ಚರ್ ಮಾಡ್ತೀನಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೋದು, ಲಿಥಿಯಂ ಅಯಾನ್ ಬ್ಯಾಟ್ರೀಸ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ಬೋದು. ಆಲ್ಟರ್ನೇಟಿವ್ ಇವಾಗ ಲಿಥಿಯಂ ಎಲ್ಲ ಖಾಲಿ ಆಗಿಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡ್ತೀರಾ? ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಹುಡುಕ್ತೀರಾ. ಸೋಲಾರ್ ಸೆಲ್ಸ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋದಕ್ಕೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೊಂದಷ್ಟು ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ ಬೇಕು. ಆ ಮೆಟೀರಿಯಲ್ಗಳು ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಆದರೆ ಇನ್ನೇನು ಮಾಡಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನೋ ಹೊಸದು ಹುಡುಕ್ತೀವಿ. ಸೊ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ಸ್ ಆರ್ ಲೈಕ್ ವಿವ್ ideated so many new things which are high on material that are in the earth. ಸೊ ಅದನ್ನು ನಾವು ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ತೆಗಿಬೇಕಲ್ವಾ? ಸೊ ಅಲ್ಲಿಂದನೇ ತೆಗೆದ್ರೆ ಇವಾಗ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ರಾಕ್ಷನ್ ಯಾರು ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರೋದು? ನಾವೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ?
Can you tell me?
ಸೊ ಗ್ಲೋಬಲ್ ವಾರ್ಮಿಂಗ್ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ನಮ್ಮ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು ಅಂತ ಇವಾಗ ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಕತೆ ಹೇಳಿದ್ವಲ್ಲ, ಒಂದು ಅಂದಾಜು ಎಷ್ಟಿರ್ಬೋದು? ಆಲ್ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ 100% ನಮ್ದೇ ಅಲ್ವಾ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಿಬ್ಯೂಷನ್.
If we just let things be, it wouldn't have. Like we used it right.
Right.
And then it wouldn't have.
But human nature is not like that. Change is the only thing that is constant for us.
It's gone the wrong way in a way. But it's fine. So then can you tell me?
But the thing is, there are a lot of ways in which we can also be a sustainable.
Correct. So which is where I'm going, right? So I don't know. See, honestly, boss, I've never, like, it's now, right, that these things we are more aware of, and I have contributed enough to the pollution of this planet. I think I still do. So you tell me 3 things, boss. You tell me 3 things I can do. Like, how can I contribute to not fucking it up?
First thing you do is have a rainwater harvesting in your house.
My house?
In your house. Okay. That's one simple thing. See, basically, water that falls has to be sequestered and put under the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. ಕನ್ನಡದಲ್ಲಿ ಒಂದು ಗಾದೆ ಇದೆ. ಓಕೆ, ಬಿದ್ದ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು.
You store the water that is.
Stop the rain.
Oh, beautiful.
Stop the rain where it falls. ಬಿದ್ದ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು, ನಿಂತ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ಇಂಗಿಸು.
What does that mean?
Sequester the water inside the earth. ಇಂಗಿಸೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನ put it under the earth.
Let it seep in.
Let it seep in.
So one is rainwater.
ಬಿದ್ದ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ನಿಲ್ಲಿಸು, ನಿಂತ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ಇಂಗಿಸು, ಇಂಗಿದ ಮಳೆಯನ್ನು ಅನುಭವಿಸು.
Wow, this level Kannada for me very
is okay. ಅನುಭವಿಸೋದು ಅಂದ್ರೆ to enjoy it. Okay, whatever water you have sequestered, you enjoy that.
Oh, beautiful.
Okay.
You have contributed. You enjoy.
Okay. And if you actually see a rainfall data of Bangalore, we have actually got prominent data, but at the prominent rainfall, but it has come in pockets. ಸಸ್ಟೈನ್ಡ್ ಆಗಿ ಬಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ 900 mm ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟಿದೆ, ಸಡನ್ ಆಗಿ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದ ನೀರೆಲ್ಲ ನಾವು ಸಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು. ಓಕೆ, ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಥಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್ ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಡೂ. 3 things ಹೇಳ್ಬೇಕು. ಎಲ್ಲರೂ ಓಕೆ, one tree, but make sure that it is a native variety.
What does that mean?
So basically, a lot of countries have their native trees which are belonging to that geography.
Oh, ನಮ್ಮ ಏರಿಯಾದ್ದು
Nam area.
what belongs here.
What belongs to this area. And adunu
Because
aste.
it will actually it knows the condition.
Yeah, and what birds and butterfly understand. ಆಮೇಲೆ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಏನು ಮಾಡ್ಬೇಕು ಗೊತ್ತಾ, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಹೊಂಗೆ ಮರ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದ್ರ ಪಕ್ಕದಲ್ಲಿ ಇನ್ನೊಂದು ಹೊಂಗೆ ಮರ ನಡಬಾರ್ದು.
Oh, that's crazy.
ಅದು ಯಾಕೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಟು ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಫೈ. ಡೈವರ್ಸಿಫಿಕೇಶನ್ ಇಸ್ ವೆರಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್. ಇಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ದಟ್ ಇಕೋಸಿಸ್ಟಮ್. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ವೇರ್ ಯು ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ಬಿಲ್ಡ್ ದ ಸಾಯಿಲ್. The third thing that you can do is composting in your own house. That is creating soil. What is creating soil? You would have heard about this entire save soil movement and all that. But what we have not spoken about is creating soil. What is soil? Basically all the wet waste that you tarkari adu idella tintivalla. Adanna you can actually just keep it in your house in a small bucket and make it into compost. Compost is nothing but soil. It actually gets into the soil and becomes one with the soil. These three things actually bring down a lot of,
You're talking about the wet waste.
Wet waste, yeah, wet waste. Only the wet waste. My house, 2020, we started composting, and from then onwards, 4 years, not a single wet waste has gone out of our house. Everything.
So out of 10 houses in urban Bangalore, how many houses do you think are doing this?
Out of 10,
This wet waste management that you just mentioned.
not everyone. Out of 10,
One,
I would say no, not one.
Not even
Not even one. I know an apartment. In an apartment. Okay. I know an apartment where the entire apartment does not do wet waste composting in their house. The entire, and there are some 700 houses in that apartment. And all the wet waste goes out of their compost, because there is a wet waste ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ there will be maggots that will come in. So ಆ maggots ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ people maggots ಬಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತು ಅಂತ. But those are the
But I'm sure there's a way of like.
Yeah, so basically the maggots only kind of create that soil.
Okay.
So maggots ನೋಡಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಅಂದ್ರೆ then you cannot do compost.
Like you keep it
Yeah,
secluded,
so
and I'm sure there's a clean way of.
Kind of can help so much in reducing your global warming, you know that.
What if everyone just starts managing wet waste? Crazy that will be, no?
Oh, that will be ಅವಾಗ ಸ್ವರ್ಗ ಆಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ ನಮ್ಮ ಬೆಂಗಳೂರು.
And
ಆಮೇಲೆ ಬರೋದೇನು ನಿಮ್ಗೆ ಬರೀ ರದ್ದಿ ಮಾತ್ರ.
Go back
See,
to how things were.
Just tell me one thing. Imagine this stage, okay, where there is not a single wet waste that is going out of any house in Bangalore. ಅದಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಉಳಿದಿದ್ದೇನು ಹೇಳಿ? ಪ್ಲಾಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಕು ಪೇಪರ್ ಆಯಾರು ಇದಾರೆ ತಾನೆ. Like people who come and pick, rack pickers. What do these rack pickers do? They actually go and give it to a recycler only, no? Simply means that all of this is being recycled. If your wet waste is actually separated, I'm talking in the actual sense, not like you said, no, every Bangalore house, not a single wet waste goes out. Then remaining is your plastics and papers.
So are you telling me the separation of wet waste and dry waste will solve half the problem for me?
Definitely. Definitely.
Nice.
Lot of problem. The landfill itself, right? Ever go to one of the landfill sites?
So these guys are actually doing their job, who come and collect waste.
Oh yeah, they are
Dude,
the real heroes.
they are the real heroes. They are not waste.
So we
ಕಸದವರು ಅಂತೀವಲ್ಲ, they are not ಕಸದವರು. They are actually cleaners. ನಾವು ಕಸದವರು. ನಾವು ಕಸ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟ್ ಮಾಡೋರಲ್ವಾ.
We are the trash.
We are the trash.
People who take trash out.
So imagine then.
They
how
are
simple
actually
it is,
the real
right?
heroes.
I don't even need to actually dirty my hand. I just need to dispose of.
Responsible disposing. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ these three things.
I like this cause, boss. I really want.
Only three things. ಮಳೆ ನೀರನ್ನ ಸಿಕ್ವೆಸ್ಟರ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಒಂದೇ ಒಂದು ಗಿಡ ನಡಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಮನೆ ಮುಂದೆ. ನೋ ಎಕ್ಸಾಟಿಕ್, ನೋ ಇನ್ವೇಸಿವ್. ಓಕೆ, ನೇಟಿವ್ ಗಿಡ ನಡಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಕಾಂಪೋಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ. ಇಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ರೆಸ್ಪಾನ್ಸಿಬಿಲಿಟಿ ಯು ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೇಕನ್ ಟು ಅ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಲೆವೆಲ್. ಬಟ್ ಯು ಹ್ಯಾವ್ ಗಾಟ್ ಟು ಬಿ ವೆರಿ ಡೆಲಿಜೆಂಟ್ ಇನ್ ಡೂಯಿಂಗ್ ದಟ್. ನಾನು ನಮ್ಮ ಅಪ್ಪನೇ ಕಿರಿಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀವಿ ಫಾರ್ ವೆಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್. ವಾಸನೆ ಬರುತ್ತಿದ್ದು. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಫ್ಯೂ ಡೇಸ್ ವಿ ಆಲ್ಸೋ ಡಿಡ್ ನಾಟ್ ನೋ ಹೌ ಟು ಡೂ ವೆಟ್ ವೇಸ್ಟ್.
Can I not cover it up?
ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. It's 2-3 days. Yeah. Immediately once you put in 2 to 3 days, it will start, that foul smell will come. But ಆ ಫೌಲ್ ಸ್ಮೆಲ್ ಬಂದಿದ ತಕ್ಷಣ ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಬಿಸಾಕು ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ರೆ ಅದು ಅಲ್ಲಿಗೆ ನಿಮ್ಮ ವ್ರತ Panga adange. You've broken your thing. But the fourth day, it'll actually, you will see it's becoming powder. You got to be patient with Mother Earth.
So, what do you want to do with this CSR initiative?
Oh, okay, what do I do?
Where do you want to?
So,
Also, I mean, are you like,
see,
is it paying for things or things are like?
see, we are an organization which is dreaming to be run like a corporate. Okay, by which I mean we have departments. We've got the outreach team. We've got the entire project ideation team. We got the finance team, and we have the operations team. In the corporate sense, we have the sales team, marketing team, operations, and all of them. But here, they are not sales actually. They are the outreach guys. They are the guys who actually go and tell the clients about, why clients. Why do we call them clients? Is because they also have that obligation as per the section 135 to actually spend that. What are we strong in is to ideate project. So here we also have goals. We also have social goals on what all projects we want to do, how we want to take things up. So broadly, what we have done is we have divided our entire operations into two things. One is people-related initiatives. One is planet-related initiatives. What you see more is planet-related initiatives because we are so passionate about it. But also what we do is we do a lot of education initiatives, teaching science, maths and English to the rural masses. Science and maths is actually taught in Kannada so that students learn it like with full passion, and this is also Atada Jotege Pata. Like, you play while you learn. So you learn all of these Pythagoras theorems and all of that on field. So it's so much fun. So we reach a lot of students in the rural. And again, we do a lot of donation activities, which we never talk about, scholarships and all of that. We kind of do it. But our work in the planet side, and that is something that we actually see a lot of impact, sudden impact, because some of the lakes that we are working on, we increase the capacity to threefolds. And the very next rainy season, it is full. So we'll be like, and that is like,
you run to the lake
wow,
to go see when it rains.
Oh my God, you've got no idea. Oh, we go at 11:30 in the night if we get to know it is raining.
Condition of the lake.
And if someone says that it is raining, then we'll go.
You won't get sleep when it rains.
Neddene barala.
Guru, ಎದ್ದಿದ್ಯಾ? ಹೂ ಮಗ, ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಿದೆ, ಹೋಗೋಣ ಕೆರೆ.
ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ ಅಂತ.
To go see our lake.
Yeah. When it's raining on a rainy day, night 11 o'clock we go to the lake, because that is when it is like ಅಂತ ಮಳೆ ಬರ್ತಾ ಇರುತ್ತೆ ಜೋರಾಗಿ. ಒಂದು ಛತ್ರಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಲ್ಲ ಒಂದು ಕೋಟ್ ಹಾಕೊಂಡು ಸುಮ್ಮನೆ ಹೋಗಿ, ಆಮೇಲೆ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಫ್ರೆಶ್ ಆಗಿ ಇವಾಗ ಕೆಲಸ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ ಅಷ್ಟೇ. ಸೊ some of the places are very slushy. We just go barefoot, see where the actual water is coming in. So for us, the whole idea is we need to take maximum water inside the lake. Right, so we kind of channelize all the upstreams so that the water comes
so
inside.
Wherever you see the water leaving the lake or overflowing, that's where your mind starts working.
Right,
like,
right.
Macha, this also we need to
channel it inside.
Yeah.
This also we need to channel it inside, because this is called water memory. Okay?
Water memory.
It's called water memory. Water,
and how it flows.
Yeah, that is water's memory.
Okay.
Water knows where to flow. Water knows where to flow. That is why, if you build anything in between the water flow, it will just fuck it and go. Band water ಹೊಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ. So it's called water memory. So we also kind of want to see where the water flows, where it comes from.
You almost go mental when this happens, no? Have you all danced in the lake?
What all we have done. We've cried.
Oh man,
I'm not kidding, but we've cried when the water.
You must have seen both sides of the lake, right? When it's like fully off. And
there is this one lake that we created which was completely dry, and all the villagers were like, sir, ಇದ್ರಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂತ. ನಾವು ಫುಲ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ಕೆತ್ತಿ ಫುಲ್ ರೆಡಿ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ. ಅವನೊಬ್ಬ ಹಳ್ಳಿಯವನು ಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕೆರೆಯಲ್ಲಿ ನೀರು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು. I was like, how can this guy tell like this? We have assessed everything. We have assessed all the topo lines. We have seen everything. How can this not come? How can the water not fill? And there was the same lake where we went at 11 o'clock, and me and Harsha, we sat near the inlet. We just sat. hearing that sound, gushing water. ಅವತ್ತು ಇಟ್ ವಾಸ್ ಲೇಟ್ ನೈಟ್ ದಟ್ ಆ ತಾತ ಇರಲಿಲ್ಲ, ಇಲ್ಲಾಂದರೆ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಬಂದ್ಬಿಟ್ಟು ಅಲ್ಲೇ ಮುಳುಗಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ವಿ ನಾವು. ಮುಳುಗ ಇಲ್ಲಿ ನನ್ನ ಮಗನೇ ಅಂತ ಅದನ್ನು ಕಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ
ಕಳ್ಸು, ಫಸ್ಟ್ ರೀಲಲ್ಲೇ ಕಳ್ಸಿ.
ಸೊ ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ದೀಸ್ ಆರ್ ದ ಗೈಸ್ ಹೂ ಆ್ಯಕ್ಚುಲಿ ನಮಗೂ ಕೆಲವೊಂದ್ಸಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಮಾಡಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ ಇವರೆಲ್ಲ. ನೀರು ಬರುತ್ತೋ ಇಲ್ಲೋ ಅನ್ಸ್ಬಿಡುತ್ತೆ, ಬಿಕಾಸ್ ಹೀಸ್ ಬೀನ್ ದೇರ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ಆಲ್ ಹಿಸ್ ಚೈಲ್ಡ್ಹುಡ್. ದಟ್ ದಿಸ್ ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಗೈಸ್ ಹೂ ಸ್ಟೇ ನಿಯರ್ ದ ಲೇಕ್ಸ್ ವಿತ್ ದ ಹರ್ಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಶೀಪ್ ಅಂಡ್ ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದೆಮ್, ನೋ ವಿತ್ ದ ಬಿಡಿ ಇನ್ ದೇರ್ ಹ್ಯಾಂಡ್. ಟಿಪಿಕಲ್ ಗೈಸ್ ರೈಟ್. ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ, ನಾವು ಇಷ್ಟೊಂದೆಲ್ಲ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಫರ್ಟ್ ಹಾಕಿ ಎಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಿ, ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡಿ, ನೀರು ಬರಲ್ಲ ಬಿಡ್ರಿ ಅಂದ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರೆ. ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಯಲಿ ಟೆನ್ಷನ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ವಿ ಕೈಂಡ್ ಆಫ್ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಅವರ್ ಟೆಕ್ನಾಲಜಿ, ವಿ ಡೋಂಟ್ ಬಿಲೀವ್ ಅವರ್ ಸೈನ್ಸ್. ವಿ ಹವ್ ಡನ್ ಆಲ್ ದ ಕಾಂಟೂರ್ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್, ಟೋಪೋ ಮ್ಯಾಪ್ಸ್, ಆಲ್ ಆಫ್ ದಟ್ ವಿ ಹವ್ ಡನ್. We know this is the inlet. Upstream also we have worked. Still, we don't trust ourselves sometimes.
Harsha, you mind coming in? You can get your chair here. We'll do like a final 5 minutes. Like you all said, I don't think we can ever stop talking about this. But very inspiring was. I have really I almost feel guilty sitting in front of both of you. Because that dry wet waste thing, why it caught my eye was, my mom always gets psyched when I mix both. I never really bothered about it. Because see, I also live in an apartment. I'm bothered about it until it leaves my door. Vasne barta idea. I'll keep it outside. I know it'll get taken. But I guess somewhere we have got spoilt.
Yeah.
We got spoilt over time, where the person who's taking the waste also will never question me. Macha, why have you put this together? Because now that person is getting paid. If she or he questions me, now the society is built in a way where those people are not allowed to question you. Ideally, they should be the ones slapping us.
Right.
Ide problem agirodu. If I got questioned by that person saying, Macha, you don't have any fucking
Mind or what?
Right? They should have thrown that back in my hall, bro. Then maybe I'd have learned. But anyway, thank you to both of you. I don't know about how much I can help you all, but you all have definitely changed the way I think. And I hope more people can change seeing your projects, and hopefully listening to this episode and they change. Any message when people see this, if you want to tell people something on this platform, maybe a closing, anything, both of you can.
Bangalore perspective, it's still not reached a stage where it's irreversible. We can still reverse all the wrongdoings that we have done. If we all come together and the three things that we mentioned, one small baby step if we take, it can snowball into something absolutely beautiful. You can go back to the times where Bangalore had fog in the morning. We could go running in the forests, or we could have a lot of migratory birds, local birds, ecosystem, fresh air. It can all come back to that, but if we all take that ownership and initiative, like you just said. Now I'm sure after this episode you will go back home and segregate your waste. You will like this. If every one of us can do these small things, it can bring a big change.
So Bangalore can come back.
Absolutely.
Anything?
Also, we always tell this in most of our volunteering events. CSR is not corporate social responsibility. It is actually citizen social responsibility.
Oh, lovely.
Every one of us have got to be responsible. And Mother Earth is our responsibility. If we don't take responsibility of our own mother, then who are we taking care of, right? Each and every step has to be, even family functions for that matter. Today I just came from my sister's housewarming ceremony, and we consciously took a decision of using only steel glasses, and that we got it from another NGO. Okay, we got it from there. We are going to give back. So no plastic bottles. Small baby steps like this, and there is very little effort that you will have to put actually. So ಅದಕ್ಕೂ ನಮ್ಗೆ ಆಗಲಿಲ್ಲ ಅಂದರೆ ತುಂಬ ಕಷ್ಟ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಇಟ್ಸ್ it's easy actually to take small steps and be socially responsible. That's very important. I think that is the only thing that we need to know, and we got to learn, keep learning. Okay, and that is when I think learning is a curve that people should not stop. And learning about environment is very important. Learning about Mother Earth is also very important.
Also, we complain about the generation above us that what have they left behind. We complain, right? But we should not give an opportunity for the generations to come to say that you guys didn't leave anything for us, like you destroyed everything and went. I think we will not be able to live with that kind of accusations and statements that what have we left behind? Nothing for the generations to come. We need to do everything to preserve whatever resource you take back, try and give it back twofold. I think that can really change the course of our planet, I could say.
Lovely, man. Thank you to both of you.
Thank you.
We've always wanted to be a platform to get such stories documented. My goal now with both of you is I definitely want you all on at least once a year. Hopefully 10 years, and I'm sure this, you also mentioned that this is the first time you all have spoken in detail like this. There are a lot more people who are going to reach out to you as you.
Thanks to people like you for promoting us, because we are so bad at PR. We're like, you tell us to work, we will work technically, sound A to Z, we will finish. But to talk about ourselves in forums and people promoting us, we are like, this takes us a long way, actually.
I'll commit one thing to you, okay, right here on camera. For the next 10 years, every year we'll meet once and we'll record an episode. My promise to you is I'll take these 10 episodes and I'll make a documentary about both of you. This is my promise to both of you, because
thank you.
I don't know if I'll be able to restore a lake, but I know if I record your story and document it, I would have also done my job indirectly somehow.
Thank you so much. It means a lot. This
is the goal. This was Harsha and Guru. There's always more to talk. I think we've already. This is our longest episode. This is our longest episode till date. Deepika's was the longest, by the way. 99th was the longest until her. Now we have. No, Deepika's was the longest, boss. And anyway, this is unbelievable. If you all already knew their work, continue supporting them. If this is an episode and if you all have been exposed to their work for the first time, follow them. We'll leave the links of all the projects and their pages in the description, and do your bit. I think I'm gonna start doing mine. I hope you do too. Thanks to both of you.
Thank you.
This was episode number 101 of On a Personal Note with Adarsh Sakare. We'll see you on the next one.